Family Farm, the true tree of the immortal dragon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1 Crisis. King's Hu Peak is located in a remote area of the Zilong Mountains in the Shenhuan continent. Its peaks are like green bamboos pointing straight into the sky, and the ethereal aura surrounds the mountainside. It is a holy land for immortals. The Ye family, a family of immortal cultivators in the state of Zhao, is located here. Miuan is the cave of Ye Changsheng, the eldest elder of the Ye family. I was seriously injured this time, and I can no longer display my cultivation. I can no longer serve as the family elder. An old man with a majestic expression said helplessly, "The family has given us half a month to move out of here. During this time, Qianyu and Qianayin, you two can help your sister-in-law Linglang handle the relocation matters. Changsheng will continue to practice with me and see if he can break through to the middle stage of key refining as soon as possible." Looking at the young man in white with sharp eyebrows and starry eyes next to him, Ye Changsheng's eyes became a little more loving. "Father, it doesn't matter if we move away, but once the main peak spiritual veins are gone, the cultivation of immortality will be delayed." Daughter. Ye Qianayin frowned and said anxiously, "Yes, father, immortality is the hope of our family. He has the same qualifications as you with the 3 spiritual roots. He is expected to build a foundation in the future. This family rule is really unreasonable." The youngest son Ye Qianayin was a little aggrieved. "Father, I want to sell Qianqi's green bamboo sword and buy a tang mei pill for Changsheng, daughter-in-law." Cui Linglang said somewhat seriously, "Mother, how can that be done?" Ye Changsheng was a little anxious. "That's the last magic weapon left by my father. You usually use it to see things and think about people, because Grandpa Ye Changsheng came back from an outing half a month ago and was seriously injured and fell into a coma. The family spent all their savings to buy a first grade, high grade healing pill. Only then did Ye Changsheng wake up from the brink of death, but his tension was also close to being broken. Unless a second level healing elixir is found, recovery is possible. However, the Ye family itself is only a key training family. The highest cultivation level in the family is at the 9th level of key training. How could it be possible to obtain the holy healing medicine that is precious even in the hands of great monks in the foundation building stage? Don't be anxious about this. I have already prepared for the immortal promotion, Ye Changsheng said. "Although I was injured by the clam demon, I still captured its first order mid-grade spirit bead. Well, it's this bead. You will accept Changsheng today. With your qualifications, you can advance to the middle stage of key refining. You can be considered a little master in our family." Ye Changsheng took out a brilliant golden pearl. "Grandpa, Ye Changsheng was so moved that he couldn't help but shed tears. It turns out that Grandpa took such a big risk this time, narrowly escaped death, and escaped from the mouth of a late-stage first-order monster to gain resources for his advancement to the mid-stage key refining stage. Silly boy, you are the hope of our family. If you have this intention, if you advance to the middle stage of key refining as soon as possible, you will be considered filial." Ye Changsheng said happily. The middle stage of key training at the age of 16 is indeed not bad for a family like the Ye family whose highest level of cultivation is the 9th level of key training. The condition for entering the 9 direct lineages of the Ye family is to have a clan member in the late stage of key refining. Ye Changsheng's hope of advancing to the intermediate level of key refining at the age of 16 was due to the resources obtained by his grandfather, Ye Changsheng, a 7th level master of key refining. The 9 direct descendants of the Ye family represent the 9 masters of late key refining. The Ye family's seeding needle is Ye Dongren, the supreme elder of the Ye family, who has perfected the 9th level of key refining. Uncle Ye Qianayin, Aunt Ye Qianayin and Mother Cui Linglang are all at the 5th level of key refining. Because they all have 4 spiritual roots, it is already the result of their hard work to reach the 5th level of key refining. In the courtyard. "Mom, I still want to sell this spirit bead to buy life-saving elixirs for Grandpa." Ye Changsheng said with certainty. Although Ye Jiu, who woke up, the family's spiritual doctor diagnosed that he might only have a few years to live due to his severe injuries. To cure it, special elixirs are needed. Changsheng, this is not something you should worry about. We have already made a decision about buying elixirs for your grandfather. Cui. Linglang said firmly. Yes, my 5-color brocade handkerchief hasn't been used for many years, and I'm going to sell it. Ye Changsheng said, your uncle is also planning to sell his flying boat, together with the green bamboo sword left by your father. The sale of these items is enough to buy a first level loving kindness fruit, which can save your grandfather's life. Needless to say, the first order middle grade flying sword Kingsu sword left behind by his father Ye Changsheng. Key point: the 5-color brocade handkerchief was a gift given to her by her aunt Ye Changsheng's first love, Taoist Liu. It is a first-class medium-grade magic weapon, and is Ye Changsheng's main defensive magic weapon. Liu Doran unfortunately died while exploring opportunities with Ye Changsheng. Ye Changsheng is still single, so the value of this magic weapon to her can be imagined. As for Ye Changsheng's first-level low-grade flying boat magic weapon, he bought it after he entered the middle stage of key refining and killed monsters for 10 years, just like the man's car in Ye Changsheng's previous life. Yes, Ye Changsheng is a time traveler. As for his identity and everything in his previous life, he no longer wants to dwell on it. He couldn't help but lament that he, a time traveler, was in such a mess. Thinking about all the cheats and novels in his previous life, he could only dream. Ever since I awakened to Suhui, I discovered that there was a golden seed in my sea of consciousness, but no matter what I try, I can't activate it. I did a lot of strange things, which made my family think I was crazy, so I stopped and concentrated on practicing. It took 9 years of practice to complete the 3rd level of key refining. Seeing the firm attitude of the 3 people, Ye Changsheng knew that it was useless to say more, and it was more important to advance quickly and become a great master of key refining in the late stage as soon as possible. Ye Changsheng returned to the practice room, calmed down, and took out the spirit bead given to him by his grandfather. He took a deep breath, swallowed it in one gulp, and quickly circulated his spiritual power to refine the spirit bead. Ye Changsheng has 3 spiritual roots of earth, wood and fire. He practices the 7 stars return to origin gong, which is a first level upper grade, and is already one of the best exercises in the Yi family. The highest level can be practiced to the 9th level of key refining. The spirit bead melted in his mouth, turned into a stream of cool water, slowly flowed into his abdomen, and then quickly spread to every corner of his body. Ye Changsheng only felt a burst of heat rising from his danshan, quickly circulating throughout his body along the meridians. Every time he arrived at a place, it seemed like countless fine needles pierced his skin, and it was like ice and fire blending. He closed his eyes and concentrated on feeling the flow of this power in his body. This power was both hot and cold, with indescribable pain and comfort. Ye Changsheng knew that it was the spiritual energy contained in the spirit pearl that was helping him reshape his meridians and expand his spiritual sea. As time went on, the heat flow became stronger and stronger. Just when he could hardly bear it and was about to give up, the heat flow suddenly broke out in his body, as if breaking through some kind of restraint, and his spiritual sea expanded several times in an instant. A powerful feeling that he had never experienced before filled Ye Changsheng's whole body, and he seemed to be able to hear the sound of every drop of blood rushing in his blood vessels. Opening his eyes, Ye Changsheng's eyes flashed with a gleam of light. He knew that he had successfully broken through to the 4th level of key refining and steadily entered the middle stage of key refining. Chapter 2 Golden Finger. As Ye Changsheng's spiritual power gradually calmed down, there was a subtle fluctuation in his sea of consciousness. This fluctuation was weak and subtle, almost negligible, but for him who had just completed a breakthrough in cultivation, it was a moment of extremely sharp perception. Under the subtle perception, it turned out that the golden seed hidden deep in his sea of consciousness had sprouted. It had been silent before, as if it was just an ordinary grain of sand. Now tiny cracks began to appear on the surface of the seed. and a strong breath of vitality was quietly released. Ye Changsheng could feel that the seed was absorbing his spiritual power, and the surrounding spiritual energy seemed to be attracted by it, forming a tiny vortex, slowly rotating. As time went by, the crack became larger and larger, and golden light overflowed from it. Gradually, a tender green bud tip stubbornly drilled out. The bud tip grew rapidly, constantly absorbing the essence of Ye Changsheng's spiritual power. In a flash, it had developed into a tender green and vibrant seedling. The roots of the seedling began to expand around, as if looking for more nutrients in the sea of consciousness. At this time, the seedling began to transmit consciousness to Ye Changsheng. Only then did Ye Changsheng know that this was actually the seed of the true dragon Immortal Tree, the one that he had traveled with. Through the information transmitted by the seedling of the Immortal Tree, he learned that the true dragon Immortal Tree was an ancient, sacred tree with the ability to communicate with heaven and earth and gather the spiritual energy of the stars. Its roots can also absorb the chaotic spiritual energy in the void, and then transform it into the spiritual energy needed for the growth of the Immortal Tree itself. After he was promoted to the middle stage of key refining, he could barely make the seeds of the Immortal Tree germinate. The golden finger finally arrived. After calming down his excitement, Ye Changsheng began to continue observing the seedling of the Immortal Tree. As the roots of the seedling gradually grew, they began to expand to the edge of the sea of consciousness, as if touching the boundary of the void. Each root seemed to be permeated with a mysterious power, not only absorbing Ye Changsheng's own spiritual power, but also began to absorb the original energy of the chaos from the void. Under the nourishment of this powerful energy, the growth rate of the seedling of the Immortal Tree was amazing. Each root was like a living tentacle, flexible and full of power. They penetrated deep into the void, and the spiritual energy was exquisitely transformed by the roots, and delivered to Ye Changsheng in an indescribable way. At this moment, the fairy tree seedling and the sea of consciousness underwent a more magical change. As the roots expanded further, Ye Changsheng suddenly felt that the space in the sea of consciousness seemed to be twisting and expanding. A powerful energy fluctuation accompanied by light formed a miniature vortex in the center of his sea of consciousness. This vortex gradually stabilized and turned into a clear space portal. Ye Changsheng's mind moved, and he felt that his consciousness was attracted into this newly formed space. He came to a vast space, about 20 meters in radius. The light here was soft, and the air was filled with a faint spiritual energy. There was a rich black spiritual soil underneath, and its grade was probably the first grade lower grade. As the roots of the fairy tree seedling continued to expand outward, this spiritual soil seemed to resonate with it, gradually increasing the concentration of its spiritual energy, making the entire space full of a vibrant atmosphere. In the center of the space, 3 quaint and mysterious stone platforms stand, each with a vivid dragon head inlaid on it. Their eyes are deep, as if they can still observe everything in the world after thousands of years. Under each dragon head, there is a finely carved stone jar hanging. The liquid in the jar is like liquid light, flashing with subtle luster, exuding an intoxicating aura. When Ye Changsheng touched the stone platform in the middle, he felt a cold touch, followed by a subtle vibration flowing from his fingertips into his heart. At this moment, the fairy tree seedlings at the top of the space seemed to sense something, and the tiny leaves trembled slightly. In this subtle swing, Ye Changsheng felt a vague flow of information. In the intermittent, Ye Changsheng learned 2 pieces of information. This space was generated by the fairy tree, and the aura level and fairy tree level inside are closely related to the owner Ye Changsheng, and they are all at the first level now. Second, these 3 stone platforms are extremely rare fairy terraces. A stone jar under each faucet contains the fairy dew carefully condensed by the spirit of the fairy tree, and each drop is the essence of the spiritual plant that is worth a fortune. The first stone platform from the left can drip a drop of first level fairy dew every month, which is enough to promote any first level spiritual plant to maturity. The second stone platform can drip a drop of second level fairy dew every year to promote the birth of second level spiritual plants, and the third stone platform can produce a drop of precious third level fairy dew every 12 years, which is enough to promote the birth of third level spiritual plants. The most important thing is that there is already a drop of first level fairy dew, a drop of second level fairy dew, and a drop of third level fairy dew under the faucets of the 3 stone platforms. More fairy dew is brewing on the faucets of the stone platforms. After calming down his excitement, Ye Changsheng knew that this would be his biggest secret and he could not tell anyone, including his relatives. After all, there are many secret methods such as soul searching and divination in this world. The most important thing at the moment is the illness of Grandpa Ye Jiuhu. With the fairy dew produced by the fairy tree, Ye Changsheng has the capital to solve the problem with a small investment. Ye Changsheng currently has no suitable spiritual seeds to induce birth, which requires Ye Changsheng to go to the market once to make a small investment with a big investment. The spiritual veins of the Zilong Mountains are flooded, and there are dozens of large and small fairy cultivation markets. There are 3 cities around Kingshu Peak where the Ye family is located, namely the 2 smaller Yunhaifang City and Xinghefang City, which are controlled by the Li family and the Huang family respectively. This is also the consensus of the immortal world. Without the protection of the second order formation and the hundreds of years of reputation guarantee of the foundation establishment family, no one would dare to trade in the city. The largest city is Unwavering City, which is controlled by the Zhang family of the Zifu family. The cultivation levels in this world are: first level key refining realm, second level foundation building realm, the third level of the purple mansion realm, the fourth level of Taoist court, fifth level jade tree realm, sixth level Yuanshan realm. Both the foundation building and the Z mansion are giants that are out of reach for the Ye family. The Ye family is thousands of miles away from Zhuanwafang City, so Ye Changsheng used the flying sword to get to Xinghefang City in one day. Xinghefang City is named after its second order formation 12 Yuanshan Starlight Formation, which covers an area of about 20 miles even during the day. The sky above Fangfang City is shrouded in starlight and shining brightly. Ye Changsheng came to the entrance of Fangshi and paid a spirit stone. There were only the last 5 spirit stones left in the storage bag. After entering Fangshi, a half spirit who looked like a waiter in his 20s came forward. Generally, Wulingjian monks who have never broken through the key refining stage are called half spirits in the world of immortality. This kind of half spirit is the most common in the market. They usually play roles such as waiters, and servants. This shows that cultivation break through the difficulty of refining key. Master, Immortal, do you need anything? When you come to Xinghefang City, I can help you solve all problems other than spiritual stones. The commission is not much, just 1 spiritual stone a day, the shopping guide said enthusiastically with a smile on his face. I'm here to buy magic weapons, but I don't have many spiritual stones on me. I want to sell my old magic sword first. Do you know where the casual cultivator's stall is? Ye Changsheng said calmly. Master, Immortal, you have asked the right person. In this market, no one knows how to sell old magical artifacts in the casual cultivator stall area better than me. I will help you sell them. I guarantee you 100 spiritual stones of magical artifacts. It can be sold for 120. The waiter was giving directions to Ye Changsheng while recommending himself eloquently. Ye Changsheng cupped his hands into fists. Thank you, but this little gadget isn't worth hiring someone to sell. Thank you for your kindness. I will definitely call you next time I have business. After saying that, Ye Changsheng went straight to the area where the casual cultivators set up their stalls. Chapter 3 Selling the Sword. Bah. A poor guy wants to replace his magic sword. I think he is just a poor guy selling magic swords. The shopping guide from Fangshi said a little angrily. If Ye Changsheng heard it, he would definitely agree with what the shopping guide said. He did have the idea of selling magic sword. The core of the first level healing elixir, the loving heart fruit, requires at least 30 to 50 spiritual stones and he only has 5 spirit stones left, as well as an old first class low grade sword purchased by his grandfather Ye Jiuhu himself, and the new one only has 40 or 50 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng also knows that having a shopping guide when selling old magic instruments will save a lot of effort and avoid underselling. But now the Ye family has reached the point where a spiritual stone is broken into 8 petals. There is really no ability to hire a shopping guide. He didn't know if the spiritual stone from the pit of the loving heart fruit was enough. When he arrived at the stall area and saw that it was already evening, Ye Changsheng came to the gathering place for casual cultivators. found a spot at random, and meditated to rest. Early the next morning, Ye Changsheng went to the management office and handed over 1 day's rent for the stall for 1 spirit stone. He took out his first level low grade magic sword, which was engraved with exquisite cloud and dragon patterns, and exuded a faint blue light, and placed it on the stall. After a long time, a few market veterans came over to ask about the price. Either quote 15 spiritual stones or 20 spiritual stones. It was obvious that they were trying to find something missing. Although this magic sword was old, it had no obvious bumps and bruises. The real value must be more than the price they quoted for the fracture. There were also a few first level key refining monks who were obviously strapped for cash. I picked it up and looked at it repeatedly, asked the price repeatedly, and finally left in frustration. It wasn't until the afternoon that any serious buyer showed up. They are a pair of young sisters wearing purple dresses. They look very similar. They both have waterfall-like black hair and bright eyes. They look fresh and refined. The eldest sister has a gentle appearance and a somewhat mature and calm look in her eyes. The little girl looked lively and cute, with a curious light shining in her eyes. This flying sword looks to be in good condition. Brother, how many spiritual stones did you sell for this sword? The little girl's voice was clear and playful. Ye Changsheng smiled and replied, 35 spirit stones. This flying sword is carefully refined by our family master. It is made of cold iron. It is inlaid with 3 layers of spirit arrays. Common spirit gathering, sharpness, and acceleration arrays are embedded in it. There are all kinds of methods, and it's very smooth to control. The eldest sister looked at the flying sword carefully, and then asked softly, can we try the feel of the sword? Sure. With Ye Changsheng's consent, the eldest sister carefully held the flying sword, and the sword immediately emitted a faint blue light, which was obviously well integrated with her spiritual power. After controlling the flying sword to fly around several times, she nodded with satisfaction. It is indeed a good sword, with a balanced feel and smooth spiritual power flow. During the exchange, Ye Changsheng observed that the 2 sisters had extraordinary conversation. It was obvious that their family background was not something that ordinary families could cultivate. He was slightly curious, but politely didn't ask any more questions. Finally, after a brief bargaining, the sisters bought Fijian for 33 spiritual stones. At the end of the transaction, the eldest sister smiled slightly and said to Ye Changsheng, if you have any good magic weapons in the future, you can go to Kingayan Peak to find us. I'm Lindsay, and this is my sister Lin Shuang. On the immortal path, it's always good to have a friend. After saying goodbye politely, Ye Changsheng remembered that the Lin family in Kingayan Peak seemed to be a foundation building family. However, Lindsay and Lin Shuang should not be core disciples of the Lin family, otherwise they would not come here to hunt for treasures. After Ye Changsheng closed the stall, he handed over the overpass fee of 1 spiritual stone. After meditating until dawn on the second day, I walked to the Huang Spiritual Medicine Pavilion in the center of Fang City with the 37 spiritual stones in my storage bag. Because what Ye Changsheng wanted to buy was a first level spiritual item, he traded it directly on the first level. Find the shopkeeper directly. Excuse me, do you have the core of the loving kindness fruit? Although the shopkeeper in green shirt is also a monk at the first level of key refining, he has been hanging out in the market and has long lost the dignity of a monk. Seeing that it was a big business, he quickly said politely, sir, please wait a moment. Our store has the core of the loving heart fruit. I will bring it to you. After a while, the shopkeeper brought a jade box and uncovered the talisman on it to maintain the activity of the elixir. Seeing this, Ye Changsheng's heart sank slightly. It seemed that the price of the loving heart fruit was not low, and ordinary elixirs did not require special talismans after all. This spiritual talisman is worth 2 spiritual stones. The shopkeeper opened the jade box, revealing 5 fruit cores with aura inside. My lord, please see, here are the cores of the loving heart fruit. As we all know, the loving heart fruit is a holy product for healing, and its core also has many uses. The pit of the loving heart fruit is pale golden in color, with a delicate surface, entwined with complex shimmering runes. It exudes a fresh herbal scent, making it appear mysterious and full of aura. Ye Changsheng picked up the most brilliant one among them and pretended to be relaxed and asked, "How much does it cost?" "Look, sir, the loving heart fruit is famously difficult to cultivate, so the core is also very precious. We happen to have a loving heart fruit tree in the Huang family, but you may not be able to buy it, even if you search the surrounding markets. Seeing as this is your first time visiting our store, I will order it directly. 50 spiritual stones will be the same price." Looking at the shopkeeper's determined expression, Ye Changsheng knew that he was still timid. After adjusting his mood slightly, Ye Changsheng said, "It's just the core. Isn't it a bit too expensive? After all, one loving heart fruit only costs 200 spiritual stones. Your price is really unacceptable." The shopkeeper smiled slightly. "If you think it's expensive, you can choose the one with the weakest spiritual light, but this one is not guaranteed to be able to be cultivated. If you want to use it for other purposes, then this one is just right. This 40 spiritual stones." Looking at this incomplete fruit core that may not sprout, Ye Changsheng, who was holding 37 spiritual stones in his arms, felt a little nervous. Needless to say, these spiritual stones will definitely not be enough to buy a complete season fruit core. Because of his grandfather's illness, Ye Changsheng has no time to go to the surrounding market to find a low-priced season fruit core. It seems that he can only believe in the magical power of the fairy dew and can only gamble. Ye Changsheng breathed a sigh of relief. Took out the storage bag and threw it on the counter. "This is all my spiritual stones. See if you can buy this worst fruit core. If not, I can only leave." After checking Ye Changsheng's storage bag, the shopkeeper looked a little depressed. He looked at Ye Changsheng again, as if Ye Changsheng really couldn't squeeze out any spiritual stones, or maybe this broken fruit core hadn't been sold for a long time. The shopkeeper smiled bitterly and shook his head. "We really lost a lot this time. Although this compassionate fruit core is broken, it still has its precious uses. Selling it at such a low price is really distressing." The shopkeeper tried to create a feeling of a big loss. In the end, he sighed helplessly and signaled Ye Changsheng that he could take the broken compassionate fruit core away. When Ye Changsheng walked out of the Huang spiritual medicine pavilion, he took a deep breath. Now it all depends on the fairy dew. Success or failure depends on this one move. Chapter 4 First Level Spiritual Tree. After several days of running around, Ye Changsheng finally returned to the Ye family. Time was urgent. Grandpa Ye Jiu, whose condition would worsen every day, and Ye Changsheng had no time to visit his grandfather and pay respects to his mother Cui Linglang. Gently took off the sign of retreat outside the retreat room and entered the retreat room again. Holding the core of the compassionate fruit in his hand, his mind moved slightly and Ye Changsheng entered the fairy tree space again. Nothing changed. Ye Changsheng carefully dug a small pit in the soil and carefully buried the dim spiritual core of the compassionate fruit in it. He then went to the first stone platform and used the magic formula to gently draw out a drop of condensed first level fairy dew. The fairy dew was aura and precious, like the condensation of liquid spiritual energy, exuding a rich spiritual charm. With full of expectations and a hint of prayer, Ye Changsheng returned to the small pit that had just been dug. He took a deep breath and slowly dropped the drop of celestial dew on the pit of the compassionate fruit. A shocking scene occurred. The pit, which was dim in spiritual light, instantly glowed with vitality. An almost visible vibration emanated from the pit, followed by a subtle green light. Under Ye Changsheng's astonished eyes, the pit slowly cracked, and a tiny green seedling broke out of the shell at an astonishing speed. At the same time, several black slender whiskers also drilled through the pit and quickly penetrated into the ground. As time went on, the seedling grew rapidly, and the root system expanded rapidly in the spiritual soil, absorbing the celestial dew and the rich spiritual energy contained in the spiritual soil. Soon after, the seedling had turned into a small tree that rose from the ground at a speed visible to the naked eye. The trunk gradually became thicker, from tender green to dark brown. The texture on the bark was clearly visible. The new branches were tough and strong, stretching out in all directions, and the dense leaves were shining in the light and shadow. As the small tree continued to grow upward, it soon reached a height of 2 meters. Early flower buds began to grow on the slender branches. They bloomed quickly under Ye Changsheng's gaze, emitting a delicate fragrance. Finally, the compassion fruit tree was full of flowers. Soon after, the flowers withered and produced early fruits. These fruits gradually grew from small green dots, the skin turned from green to red, and finally matured into gorgeous compassion fruits. Each fruit was full and round, with a gem-like red color and a faint spiritual light on the surface. Ye Changsheng counted again and again, and the tree finally produced a full 72 precious first-level compassion fruits. The compassion fruit is a top-grade spiritual fruit for cultivators to heal their injuries. In the world of immortal cultivation, a first-level compassion fruit costs 200 spiritual stones. Ye Changsheng's family had to sell 3 magic tools to buy it, which was a bankruptcy. But now, Ye Changsheng has a full 72. If it is counted as spiritual stones, it is a full 14,400 spiritual stones. Ye Changsheng's heart surged. The magic of the fairy tree had been verified. From now on, he would no longer lack resources for cultivating the immortal. Ye Changsheng waved his hand, and under the effect of magic power, 72 red compassion fruits were picked from the tree and arranged in front of Ye Changsheng's chest. He put the 71 fruits one by one into the jade box that had been prepared long ago. Ye Changsheng was not in a hurry to go out and give his grandfather Ye Jiuhu the first level compassion fruit because the first level compassion fruit could only barely keep Ye Jiuhu alive, and according to Ye Changsheng, this compassion fruit was a spiritual plant of multiple levels above the first level compassion fruit tree. There are second level compassion fruit trees, and even third level. The first level compassion fruit tree matures every 3 years, and each time it bears 72 fruits. The second level compassion fruit tree matures every 9 years, and each time it bears 18 fruits. The third level compassion fruit tree matures every 36 years, and each time it bears 6 fruits. If Grandpa Ye Jiuhu wants to recover from his injuries and make further progress in cultivation, he needs a second level compassion fruit. As for why he didn't produce a second level compassion fruit at the beginning, Ye Changsheng was worried that the fruit core might be defective and might waste a drop of second level fairy dew. Second, he felt that the Ye family lacked first level cultivation resources. Now the cultivation level of the Ye family was too low, so it was not easy to sell second level spiritual fruits. Ye Changsheng peeled the remaining compassion fruit, put the fragrant flesh into the jade box, took out the core, and replanted it a few meters away from the first level compassion fruit tree. He took the second level fairy dew that appeared with the space again. He dripped it on the first level compassion fruit core. This time, the compassion fruit tree grew more rapidly. In a blink of an eye, a 3-meter high compassion fruit tree rose from the ground. There were indeed 18 ruby-like fruits on it, the same size as the first level compassion fruit, but the difference was that the second level compassion fruit had obvious auspicious cloud spiritual patterns on it. Following the same procedure, Ye Changsheng collected 17 of the fruits, took the last second level compassion fruit, and left the fairy tree space with a thought. Ye Changsheng hurried to the room of his grandfather Ye Jiuhu in the backyard of the plum garden, and saw that his grandfather had a ruddy face, and was lying peacefully on the bed. Changsheng, did you break through to the middle stage of key refining during your retreat this time? Seeing Ye Changsheng coming, Ye Jiuhu opened his eyes and said, yes, Grandpa, I broke through to the 4th level of key refining, but, you are worthy of being my good grandson, Ye Jiuhu. Ye Jiuhu sat up happily, with an excited look on his face. Alas, it's a pity that Changsheng has such a talent. You are also a genius in our Ye family. You should have stayed in the main peak to practice. Maybe you can break through to the late stage of key refining in the future and become an elder of the Ye family. Ye Jiuhu looked regretful. Grandpa, who said we are moving away from the main peak? Ye Changsheng smiled mysteriously. You still have the heart to laugh, do you think I don't know that your mother and the others bought their own magic tools to buy me the healing compassion fruit? But those spirit stones can only buy the first level compassion fruit, which can only prevent my injuries from getting worse. With my body, how can I get it if I don't move out in a few days? Alas, the compassion fruit is a top grade spiritual fruit for healing after all, and they haven't bought it yet. Ye Jiu, who became worried. Ye Changsheng continued to smile and said, "Grandpa, what do you think this is?" After that, he took out a second level compassion fruit from the storage bag. "Is this a compassion fruit?" "No. It's actually a second level one." Ye Jiu, who was shocked. "Changsheng, how did you get this second level spiritual fruit?" "Grandpa, this is my chance. I just advanced to the 4th level of key refining and activated the passage to a mysterious secret realm. There happened to be a patch of compassion fruit trees near the entrance of this passage. After deceiving the guarding monkey, I picked some and brought them back. There happened to be a second level one. There are still dozens of first level compassion fruits left." After that, Ye Changsheng took out the jade box containing 30 compassion fruits and opened it to Ye Jiu. Okay. I knew that my grandson was the reincarnation of a banished immortal. What's his small late stage of key refining? With this opportunity, you will definitely build a foundation and even go further in the future." Ye Jiu, who was so excited that his eyes were filled with tears, his blood was boiling, and his hand holding the jade box could not help but tremble. Chapter 5 Recovery. After being excited for a while and seeing Ye Jiu, who calmed down a little, Ye Changsheng said, "Grandpa, it seems that only I can enter this secret realm." "That's right. This must be the secret trial realm of the great immortal sect, and you may have been an important figure in this sect in your previous life. If you are not the only one who can enter, then it cannot explain why others cannot find it. Changsheng, you have to remember that this will be your biggest secret, and no one can tell it." Ye Jiu, who said solemnly, "Yeah." Ye Changsheng also nodded solemnly. "About how often do you get access?" Ye Jiu, who asked, still figuring it out. Ye Changsheng replied, "After all, he said it was a secret realm now, and it seemed unreasonable to be able to enter the secret realm at any time, so he could only answer like this. This time I am blessed by my precious grandson. I will take the second level loving heart fruit first, and after I recover, I will exchange the rest for you into spiritual stones and resources." Ye Jiu, who said happily, "Grandpa, don't give me the spiritual stone sold by the first order loving kindness fruit. I still have some here. I was just about to suggest that you exchange these spiritual stones for our family's cultivation resources. The people in our family practice hard. If it weren't for the lack of cultivation elixirs, we would have been promoted long ago. You won't be unable to break through for more than 10 years. Ye Changsheng said sincerely, "Okay, but don't take advantage of the opportunity in your hands these days. Wait until I recover this time." Ye Jiu, who glanced at Ye Changsheng with deep meaning. "Yes, Grandpa, I will protect you outside." After saying that, Ye Changsheng withdrew and meditated at the door to protect the law. About 2 days later, there was an obvious mana fluctuation in the room, which was a sign of promotion. Not long after, Ye Jiu, who walked out in a happy mood. "Grandpa, have you advanced to the 8th level of key refining?" Ye Changsheng asked in surprise. "Yes, it is indeed a second level spiritual fruit. Not only did I recover from my injuries, but it also allowed me to break through." Ye Jiu, who stroked his beard and chuckled. "By the way, where is your mother and the others?" "Are they all waiting for news about your retreat?" Ye Changsheng replied. "Let's go there together." When they arrived at the front hall, Cui Linglong, Ye Xianyu, and Ye Xianyan were all waiting. "Dad, you have recovered. Is this a breakthrough to the 8th level of key refining?" Ye Xianyu couldn't help but asked. "Yes, thanks to this child Changsheng, he recently got a good opportunity. Not only did I recover from my injuries, but I also went one step further, and this opportunity is not small. From now on, our family will no longer have to be so tight on cultivation, but I will say this here. The question of the chance of immortality ends here. None of you can ask it. This is the rule of the world of immortality, including you as a mother." Cui Linglong. "Yes, Dad, I understand. This child Changsheng has a future. Is it too late for me to be happy?" Cui Linglong wished him all blessings and said respectfully, "Great, Dad, we can go to the treasure pavilion and redeem all 3 magic weapons." Ye Cheyenne also said excitedly, point as the name suggests. The Arboretum Pavilion is a pawn shop in the world of immortality. Ye Cheyenne and the other three pawned their magical artifacts and obtained several hundred spirit stones, which they plan to use to purchase the first level loving heart fruit. Give me your pawn tickets, and I will buy a batch of cultivation resources for you. I'll redeem them. Ye Jiu was in a good mood. After explaining some things, he went out with his sword. Changsheng, we won't ask you about the specific opportunity, but I really want to thank you this time. Otherwise, we don't know what situation our family would be in. Yes, Changsheng, my aunt has benefited from you this time. Otherwise I would definitely not be able to keep my 5-color brocade handkerchief. These are what Changsheng should do, because we are a family. Ye Cheyenne and Ye Cheyenne replied in unison. Yes, we are a family. He looked excited and a little relieved. After returning to her small courtyard, Cui Linglang held Ye Changsheng's hand and was very excited. My child, you are really promising this time. In the future, if you can advance to the later stage of key refining and become a great master, I will be worthy of your father. Mom, I will definitely help you live a good life from now on. The later stage of key refining is nothing. Mom, even you will definitely be more than the foundation building stage. Ye Changsheng said affirmatively. You're talking nonsense again. What kind of realm is the founding ancestor? The entire Ye family has not produced a single one for hundreds of years. That is not what we can think of. Ye Changsheng did not refute, because his mother had no idea what an opportunity it was to own the fairy tree. He will surely soar to the sky, and his family or even the whole family will surely rise to the sky. In the blink of an eye. It was already 3 days later, and Ye Jiu returned after a long journey. Plum Garden Hall. Cheyenne, Linglong, these are your 3 magic weapons. Please accept them. After that, Ye Jiu took out a 5-color golden handkerchief, a green bamboo sword, and a first level low grade flying boat. I sold my chance of immortality to the Wufu Chamber of Commerce and received a total of 3,600 spirit stones. Wufu Chamber of Commerce is the largest elixir pavilion in Zhuanwufang City, with the best reputation, backed by the 1,000-year reputation of the Zifuzang family. It seems that each first level loving heart fruit costs 180 spiritual stones, which is a pretty good price. After all, it only sold for 200 spiritual stones. Ye Changsheng secretly noted it down, and when he got other spiritual fruits in the future, he would give priority to the Wufu Chamber of Commerce in Zhuanwufang City. It cost 230 spirit stones to redeem your 3 magic weapons. I bought each of you for a bottle of key boosting pills for the middle stage of key refining. Each bottle contains 10 pills, which cost 200 spirit stones. You all lack a suitable flying sword, so I bought 2 men's first grade medium grade flying swords and 2 women's first grade medium grade flying swords. They are all of good quality and cost 400 spirit stones. Defensive magic weapons are also necessary. I bought 4 first grade medium grade black iron shields, which cost 600 spirit stones. I bought a bottle of key boosting pills here, which cost 380 spirit stones. There are still 2020 spirit stones left. These pills are enough for you to practice for a year. Cheyenne, and Linglong have been practicing key refining for many years. After using up these pills, it will not be a problem to advance to the next level. By then, the Ye family will have 9 direct descendants. Although my family has the fewest people, our practice is the strongest. Ye Jiu stroked his beard and said proudly, Changsheng is really our family's unicorn child. As his uncle, I haven't given him any cultivation resources, but now he has to rely on him for cultivation. Ye Cheyenne took the magic weapon and elixir, feeling a little emotional. Yes, we didn't give Changsheng any great help, but now we have to rely on him to provide cultivation resources. Uncle, aunt, don't worry about these, because we are a family, and we should help each other. What's more, compared to pursuing immortality alone, I would rather see a whole family break through the late stage of key refining, foundation building, purple mansion, and even immortality. Chapter 6 Selling Fruit. Yes, without the protection of my family, how could Changsheng and I have practiced safely to this day? We are all a family, so don't worry about that. CUI. Linglang said. Well said. This is what a family is like. Whoever has the opportunity to share it with his family in the future, others will accept it openly and don't ask what the opportunity is. Ye Jiuhu said profoundly. But father, you have always given us cultivation resources before. The weapon you are currently using is a first level mid-level magic weapon with more than 2000 spirit stones left. Why don't you change it for yourself? Ye Changsheng said with a bit of complaint. Yes, father, you should also replace yourself with a first class high grade magic weapon. CUI. Linglang said the same thing. Grandpa, that's what I mean too, uncle. Ye Changsheng lowered his head and said nothing, as if he had something on his mind. I'm old, but these spirit stones are still useful. Our family's hope lies in immortality. The 16-year-old who is at the 4th level of key refining is also the #1 genius among several families around us. In the future, you may be able to pry into the foundation building Taoist fruit if you are immortal. If you are not a family, you don't know how expensive firewood and rice are. More than 2000 spiritual stones are not enough. Okay, you don't need to say anything anymore. Let's leave it as it is. There was something unquestionable in Ye Jiuhu's tone point after the family meeting. Ye Jiuhu left Ye Changsheng behind. Changsheng, I know you still have some resources, but you still have to venture into the world of immortality on your own. I got this from an old friend in exchange for a gadget that I couldn't use before, the ever-changing mask. From now on, you can go out and digest the opportunities. Just use this. Ye Jiuhu handed Ye Changsheng a human face mask. Ye Changsheng took it and put it on him. As soon as his magic power started to work, he transformed into a burly and hairy middle-aged man. Thank you, Grandpa. This mask must be very expensive. Ye Changsheng asked. Hearing this, Ye Jiuhu showed a somewhat painful expression on his face. It's not expensive. It's not expensive. It's exchanged for gadgets that are not worth spiritual stones. Ye Changsheng didn't say much. He knew that Ye Jiuhu must have paid a high price for his own safety. After Ye Changsheng returned to the small courtyard, he took out the newly acquired flying sword and tried to cultivate the flying sword so that it would be smooth when wielding it. At this moment, several beastly roars of roar came from the northwest of Ye's house. After a while, CUI Linglang broke in. Changsheng, I have the task of guarding the elixir garden from my family. Just now, the monsters in the Zilong Mountains should have broken into the elixir garden to eat the elixir. I came back from leave today. I have to go there right now. You can practice at home after you get the elixir. CUI Linglang said hurriedly. I understand, mother. Please be careful. Ye Changsheng replied. Don't worry, I have a new first level mid-level flying sword, and its attack power is unmatched before. This is all thanks to you, kid. I'm leaving. Remember not to come out. It's dangerous now. CUI Linglang turned around and left. Because at this time of year, the Ye family's yan'an fruit matures, attracting the first order monsters in the Zilong Mountain to devour it. Because this kind of spiritual fruit is of great benefit to fire attribute monsters, but it is only limited to first level monsters. Ye Changsheng's mood became a little heavy. Although guarding the elixir garden was not a narrow escape, some members of the clan had been killed or injured in recent years. Although her mother has a flying sword that matches her level, she lacks protective magic weapons, let alone other elixirs, formations, and talismans. Mothers are not safe after all. Ye Changsheng gritted his teeth and secretly made a decision. He continued to meditate to cultivate Fiji and. Half a day later, Ye Changsheng slipped out from the side door of Miyuan. After walking out of the Ye family's formation, he raised his flying sword and soared into the sky, gradually becoming a small dot in the sky and disappearing little by little. At the gate of Yunhaifang City, a tough-looking middle-aged monk pressed his flying sword and walked down. After paying the entrance fee of 1 spirit stone, I entered. Yes. This middle-aged monk is what Ye Changsheng looks like after putting on the ever-changing mask. There are 3 nearby cities Zhuanwufang City where Ye Jiu who has sold loving heart fruits, and Xinghufang City where he has just been point. So this time Ye Changsheng could only come to Yunhaifang City to sell point. Ye Changsheng had experience this time and went directly to the most central street in Fang City to find the building with the highest building plate point. Generally, this company is established by the Fang shareholders family and has a reputation of at least hundreds of years. This time Ye Changsheng successfully entered the Li family spiritual medicine pavilion. Fellow Taoist, what elixir do you want? As soon as Ye Changsheng entered the door, he was warmly received by a shopkeeper. I want to sell some elixir, but I don't know if you have room to discuss it in detail. The shopkeeper's eyes lit up. He must have a relatively precious elixir for sale. Yes, let's talk upstairs. Arrive at the private room upstairs. Ye Changsheng took out a first level loving kindness fruit. I'd like to ask the shopkeeper, how many spirit stones can you buy for this kind of loving kindness fruit? The shopkeeper's expression changed. The loving heart fruit is a good thing. It is a holy healing product that works better than ordinary healing pills. It is in short supply everywhere, fellow Taoist. Although the loving heart fruit is rare, our Li family has this kind of fruit tree planted. We still have a few in stock in the store, so I'm not in a hurry to buy them. If you want to take action in a hurry, I can buy it for 150 spirit stones. What do you think? The shopkeeper said in a calm tone. 150 spirit stones. Are you sure? Ye Changsheng has experience in tulips, so he is not a rookie. He also knows what he is thinking. Fellow Daoist, our store buys the compassion fruit at this price. If you don't believe me, you can ask. The shopkeeper looked confident. Hey, I finally came back from the expedition in Zilong Mountains. I thought these dozens of compassion fruits could be exchanged for spirit stones immediately. Who knew I would have to go to Xinghu Market? If that doesn't work, I'll go to Xuanwu Market. Ye Changsheng looked regretful and put away the compassion fruit while speaking. Wait, fellow Daoist, you said you have dozens of compassion fruits to sell. The shopkeeper was shocked. Yes, but the price you gave is too low. I'll go to another market. Ye Changsheng said calmly. No, Daoist friend, I didn't know you had so many Sixin fruits to sell, so I offered that price just now. Can you tell me how many Sixin fruits you have to sell? 30. Ye Changsheng replied. Tear it up, Daoist friend, you are so generous, you will make a fortune this time. The shopkeeper gave a thumbs up. Ye Changsheng was too lazy to listen and made a gesture to leave immediately. Daoist friend, how about 160 spirit stones per piece? Ye Changsheng continued to walk. Daoist friend, don't be too greedy. 171. Ye Changsheng walked down the first step of the stairs. Daoist friend, my authority is 175 spirit stones per piece. No more. The shopkeeper's voice was a little low, as if he had suffered a great loss. Chapter 7. Variety of wood. Ye Changsheng turned his head. Make a deal. In the blink of an eye, 5,250 spiritual stones were put into the bag. After Ye Changsheng walked out of the Li spiritual medicine pavilion, he directly entered the Li spiritual treasure pavilion next to it. There is no way this market was opened by the Li family. The best locations and the best deals must be in their hands. Ye Changsheng didn't waste any words. He walked in and asked the shopkeeper directly, bring out the best first order high grade flying boats you ordered and let me take a look. Okay. The shopkeeper saw that Ye Changsheng seemed to be an extraordinary master, so he quickly took out 3 exquisite flying boats from the back hall. Fellow Taoist, please take a look. This first boat is called Yunpo Xiangke. It is 12 meters long and 3 meters wide at its widest point. The entire boat is made of Xianlin wood and is coated with cloud paint. It can travel quickly in the sky. It leaves no trace. The boat is embedded with a wind array, and once activated, the speed can be 3 times that of an ordinary flying boat. The second boat is called Ye Changsheng. This boat is 9 meters long, 2.5 meters wide, and has a slender shape. The main material is thunderwood, covered with star sand. It is not only extremely fast, but also can automatically absorb during flight. The aura of heaven and earth replenishes energy, which is particularly suitable for long distance travel, and the boat is equipped with a small defensive formation to resist moderate attacks from the outside. The last one is called Bibozingayan, with a total length of 15 meters and a width of 4 meters. It is the largest of the 3 ships. It uses 1,000-year-old water-core wood as the main body, and is coated with ripple paint on the surface. It can be used on the water, or on the water surface. It reduces resistance when flying at low altitudes, and greatly improves the stability and speed of driving. The internal formation is a flowing cloud formation, which can gather clouds and fog during flight to form a hidden protective layer. Ye Changsheng took a look, and found that it was indeed the case. Each airship has its own unique appearance, and the Yunpo airship is characterized by its sharp bow and streamlined hull. The purple lightning blue frost flying boat appears more elegant, with a purple-blue luster, while the blue wave cloud flying boat is spacious and comfortable, with a light green hull that seems to blend in with the water waves. After Ye Changsheng carefully examined the 3 flying boats, his eyes finally rested on Yunpo. He knew in his heart that what he needed most was speed. This airship's triple speed and concealment formation obviously met his needs best. Shopkeeper, Yunpo is indeed good, but the price seems a bit high. What do I think of the 900 spiritual stones? Ye Changsheng has long understood that the basic price of a first order high grade flying boat is around 900 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng said calmly, with a consulting expression on his face. The shopkeeper was slightly surprised when he heard Ye Changsheng's quotation, but his smile soon returned. This young master, Yunpo is a treasure of our store. 1,100 spirit stones is already the maximum profit. 900 spirit stones is really. Ye Changsheng smiled slightly and interrupted the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper, I can deal with the 900 spirit stones immediately. If there is one more spirit stone, I will buy it in other ways. You have to know that there are many stores where you can buy flying boats. The shopkeeper pondered for a moment, looked at Ye Changsheng, and then glanced at Ye Changsheng's determined expression. Finally he sighed, stretched out his hand and patted it. Okay, sir, you are very sincere. The deal is done for 900 spirit stones. The to immediately handed over the flying boat and the spirit stone. After leaving Yunhaifang City, Ye Changsheng found an additional 4,320 spirit stones in his storage bag. After debugging the flying boat, installing 20 spiritual stones on the flying boat, he directly drove the flying boat towards Zhuanwufang City like an arrow off the string. Zhuanwufang City is located in a majestic mountain range. Its name is taken from the ancient Zhuanwu mythical beast, which represents impenetrable defense and unfathomable depth. As Ye Changsheng's flying boat approached, the first thing he saw was the dense clouds floating over Fang City, with colorful lights flashing in the clouds. It was a Zhuanwu spiritual array, a large-scale formation that protected Fang City. Under the formation, the gate of Fangxi is towering, carved with a lifelike basalt beast. The stone armor seems to still feel its solemnity and calmness after thousands of years. On both sides of the gate, there were guards wearing spiritual armor, each with a jade plaque symbolizing Zhuanwufang City hanging on their waist. Ye Changsheng needed to pay 2 spirit stones to enter the gate. After entering, he saw a wide main street, lined with a dazzling array of shops and stalls, ranging from rare elixirs, mysterious magic weapons to all kinds of exotic animals. People were coming and going on the street, monks were walking through it, negotiating or trading, and it was very lively. The air is filled with the unique scents of various elixirs and magical beasts, intertwined with rich spiritual energy fluctuations. Ye Changsheng went straight to the Wufu Chamber of Commerce in the center. At this time, Ye Changsheng had already transformed into a cold-faced handsome young man in the flying boat. The interior of Wufu Chamber of Commerce is very spacious, with elixir area, magic weapon area, treasure area, talisman area and so on. Ye Changsheng came to the elixir area. Excuse me, do you have the seeds of the variety tree here? The variety wood is a rare first level spiritual wood. With the matching magic formula, each of its leaves can support the caster's transformation for 12 hours, and because it costs a lot to consume one leaf each time, the effect is the best in the first order category. You can do a lot of things in 12 hours, such as buying and selling elixirs. Fellow Taoist, there is some It was included in a batch of goods that just came in from our spiritual seed area. This is what our steward came back from the 7-star cultivation world. Ye Changsheng knew that the 7 stars cultivation world was a far more prosperous world than the Zilong cultivation world where he was, with thousands of countries cultivating immortals. The variety wood, which is relatively rare in the Zilong immortal cultivation world, is just common over there. Really? Then I'm so lucky. How much does one cost? Ye Changsheng asked. 1 piece of 500 spiritual stones. No two prices. The shopkeeper said calmly. It was as if Ye Changsheng was certain to be eaten. Don't tell me. I'm sure I'll buy one. Ye Changsheng sighed a little in his heart. Although he knew that in the 7-star cultivation world, this seed might be worth less than 100 spirit stones. But who told the Zhang family to be the Zifu family and control the external business methods of the nearby Qianli cultivation world? When the family becomes stronger, it seems that they will also open up business routes to the 7-star world. Do you have the variety art that matches the variety wood? Ye Changsheng tried to ask. Yes, these two are matched. Without this versatile trick, how can you disguise yourself in the future? But it's not cheap. It costs 200 spirit stones. Bought. Ye Changsheng calmly took out the 700 spirit stones after the delivery was completed. Ye Changsheng went straight out and walked a short distance to Wufuan, the largest, most luxurious, safest and most aura-friendly hotel in the city, where he checked in. 10 spiritual stones every day. Ye Changsheng entered the room, activated various protective formations, and directly entered the fairy tree space with the variety wood seeds in hand. After Ye Changsheng gently placed the white variety wood seeds in the soil of the immortal tree space, he took out a small bottle from his arms, which contained crystal clear 3rd level immortal dew. This bottle of fairy dew is taken from the 3rd stone platform in the space. It takes 12 years to produce the next drop, so it is extremely precious. He carefully opened the bottle cap and dripped the 3rd level fairy dew onto the seeds. The moment the seeds came into contact with the fairy dew, an astonishing change immediately occurred. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8, Crazy Shopping. The dripping point of the fairy dew gave off a faint light. Soon, the light became stronger and stronger, covering the entire seed. After a while, the seeds began to swell and split, and green seedlings quickly grew from them. Ye Changsheng watched the seedling quickly grow into a small tree as thick as a baby's fist, with lush branches and leaves, each leaf shining with green light. In the blink of an eye, the small tree has reached 2 meters high. The trunk has become thick and hard, and the bark is dark brown, exuding an ancient and mysterious atmosphere. Its leaves are white, and Ye Changsheng counted tens of thousands of them, which was enough for him to disguise himself tens of thousands of times. Moreover, the variety spiritual tree is a 1st order spiritual tree. Looking at the current spiritual wood's aura, it is obviously much higher than that of the 2nd order loving heart fruit tree. This shows that the ever-changing spirit wood has become the ever-changing spirit wood and has the amazing ability to disguise and transform. Ye Changsheng knew that the current ability of this ever-changing spiritual tree was so powerful that even the ancestors of the Zifu period could not see through his disguise. Immediately, Ye Changsheng practiced the various changes art in the space, which was effective in conjunction with the leaves of the variety spirit wood. A few days later, after wasting dozens of shining white ever-changing spirit leaves, one ever-changing spirit leaf slowly sank into Ye Changsheng's eyebrows. In an instant, Ye Changsheng turned into a decrepit old man. Yes, it's not in vain that I spent so much money to cultivate the variety wood. Oh no, it is now the variety spirit wood. Ye Changsheng said happily. Ye Changsheng saw an opportunity where there were few people, walked out of the inn in the form of an old man, and came to Wufu Chamber of Commerce again. This time Ye Changsheng went straight to the elixir area. Fellow Taoist, what do you need? A shopkeeper who was specifically responsible for this area came up and asked. I want to sell some 2nd level elixirs. Ye Changsheng said calmly. please. Go upstairs to the private room. The shopkeeper's hand was also very deft. When he arrived at the private room, Ye Changsheng took out the jade box containing the second order loving heart fruit. Inside were 16 loving heart fruits, a total of 18. Except for the one used by Ye Jiuhu, Ye Changsheng kept another one, leaving a total of 16. The second level loving kindness fruit is indeed relatively rare. The shopkeeper was a little surprised, but our store has a fixed purchase price. 1,800 spirit stones are the same price. If you think it's cheaper, you can go to other stores to inquire about it and come back. The shopkeeper said calmly. No need. I believe in you and the credibility of the Zhang family. Ye Changsheng replied. Thank you, fellow Taoist. The shopkeeper laughed. The two people quickly handed over the spirit stone, and both money and goods were settled. Ye Changsheng also harvested 28,800 spirit stones. By the way, shopkeeper, do you have any rare first level elixir and spirit fruit seeds here? I want to purchase some. Ye Changsheng asked. Of course, we have the most complete range of elixir seeds within 1,000 miles. This is the seed of the dew grass. It is suitable for novice monks to use to make elixirs. It can slightly improve the purity of the spiritual power in the body. The shopkeeper showed a bag of small light green seeds. This is a red flame bean. Eating it can temporarily enhance the power of fire attribute skills. However, the effect lasts for a short time. It is more used in certain emergencies. Attendo flower can absorb moonlight at night and has a certain auxiliary effect on cultivation. It is very suitable for monks who practice at night. The spores of ghost mushrooms can glow at night. Eating them can enhance night vision for a short time, which is quite helpful for monks who need to walk at night. Although these are good, they are still too ordinary. You have to know that what I just sold to you is a second level loving kindness fruit. I don't like ordinary first level spiritual seeds, so don't take it out. Ye Changsheng said a little arrogantly. Haha, I understand. You are a big customer. He took out 2 more jade boxes. This is the seed of Shengsen pear. Shengsen pear is very suitable for monks in the key refining stage. Every time you eat one, you can directly improve your cultivation level by 1 level. Of course, it is also expensive. The seeds of Shengsen pear look round and smooth with a faint silvery sheen. This is the seed of the sunflower. It is an excellent elixir for fire attributed spirit beasts. It is very suitable for fire attributed spirit beasts. It can increase their cultivation. It is a rare treasure for spirit beasts. The seeds of sunflower are warm yellow in color and have subtle lines on their surface, making them look like small suns. After hearing this, Ye Changsheng pondered for a while and already made a decision in his heart. I want both. One each of the seeds of the Shengsen pear and the sun spirit sunflower. The shopkeeper nodded when he heard this, quickly calculated the total price, and said with a smile, okay, the 2 seeds are a total of 400 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng nodded in agreement without hesitation. After settling the spiritual stones, Ye Changsheng said goodbye to the shopkeeper and went to the magic weapon area of Wufu Chamber of Commerce. Shopkeeper, do you have any good first order, high-grade defensive magic weapons? This fellow Taoist is joking. Although the first level high-grade defensive magic weapon is expensive, our store can sell dozens of pieces every day. What kind of weapons are there? The shopkeeper in charge of the magic weapon department is a bit arrogant. The shopkeeper smiled slightly. Fellow Taoist, please take a look. This blue wave shield is made of thousands of years of cold iron and corrugated stone. Inscribed on it is flowing water formation. It can form a defensive shield in a very short time to resist attacks of the same level. The price of spiritual attack is 250 spiritual stones. The Bibo shield is a round shield with a faint blue glow. The shield surface is engraved with wave patterns, and spiritual power flows like water waves. This golden silkworm armor is woven from 10,000 years of golden silk, and is embedded with a solid armor array. It can greatly enhance the wearer's defense. Even the top level attacks of the first level are difficult to penetrate. The price is 300 spiritual stones. The Golden silkworm armor is a golden soft armor that looks thin and breathable, very suitable for women. Finally, the shopkeeper took out a tortoiseshell shield. This black tortoise shield is made of black jade or deepen lingshan and a 1,000-year-old tortoise shell. The black tortoise guardian array on it can summon the shadow of the black tortoise at a critical moment to block a fatal blow for the owner. Each piece is sold for 300 spiritual stones. The black turtle shield is a heavy shield with a black jade color and a giant black tortoise totem carved on the shield point. After carefully examining the 3 defensive magic weapons, Ye Changsheng chose the black turtle shield point just because it has the best defensive ability. Ye Changsheng estimated that the black turtle shield is also the best among all the first grade top grade defensive magic weapons. Okay. Then I want 5 black turtle shields. Ye Changsheng did not bargain. He knew that the Wufu Chamber of Commerce always had a fixed price. This was the confidence and self-confidence of the 1,000-year-old Zifu family. I bought the defensive magic weapon. The shopkeeper, please recommend me the next grade top grade flying sword. You don't have to choose for me. Just choose the best one for me. Ye Changsheng looked like a rich man. Okay, fellow Daoist, you are straightforward. This Liu Iron Sword is our best first grade top grade flying sword. Ordinary first grade top grade flying swords cost 150 spirit stones, and this one costs 280 spirit stones. The shopkeeper introduced Ye Changsheng. I bought it. Offensive magic weapons are different from defensive magic weapons. They can be used across levels. Overly powerful offensive magic weapons are not smooth and require a lot of effort to activate, which greatly affects the battle point. Therefore, Ye Changsheng only bought a magic sword for his grandfather Ye Jiuhu. However, flying boats can be inlaid with spirit stones as power and are not restricted by cultivation. Boss, give me 4 first level high quality flying boats with 3 times the speed of the boat. Ye Changsheng continued to place orders. Chapter 9. Dividing the treasures. Okay, King Feng Fu Iron Boat, 850 spiritual stones per boat. The shopkeeper took out another white flying boat with smooth lines. Okay, I'll buy these in the magic weapon area. Let's count the spirit stones. Ye Changsheng said, 3,680 spiritual stones for you. Ye Changsheng paid the spirit stones and turned to the formation area next to him. Give me 5 of the shopkeeper's first grade high quality spirit gathering formations. Ye Changsheng ordered. Okay, 800 spiritual stones for each formation. 4,000 spiritual stones for you. Ye Changsheng came to the talisman area again. I need 50 first grade top grade fire dragon talismans. I also need 50 first grade top grade diamond body talismans. I need 50 first grade top grade wind escape talismans. I need 3 second grade low grade fire dragon talismans. I need 3 second grade low grade diamond body talismans. I also need 3 second grade low grade wind escape talismans. The second grade low grade talismans were prepared by Ye Changsheng for Ye Jiuhu, and the first grade top grade talismans were enough for others. 40 spirit stones for 1 first grade top grade fire dragon talisman. 60 spirit stones for 1 first grade top grade diamond body talisman. 70 spirit stones for 1 first grade wind escape talisman. 160 spirit stones for 1 second grade low grade fire dragon talisman. 180 spirit stones for 1 second grade low grade diamond body talisman. 200 spirit stones for 1 second grade low grade wind escape talisman. 10,120 spirit stones for the favor. The shopkeeper in the talisman area calculated very quickly. Seeing that so many spirit stones were needed, Ye Changsheng felt a little pain. Although the talismans were good, they were indeed expensive. Ye Changsheng finally came to the medicine area. Give me 10 bottles of Kingsin pill. The shopkeeper. Kingsin pill is a kind of pill widely used by key refining cultivators. It can slowly improve spiritual awareness and understanding, and can effectively alleviate the instability of realm caused by taking pills for rapid advancement. However, it is an auxiliary pill, and people with low wealth generally dare not buy it. Gyeon pill. 16 bottles. Gyeon pill is the best pill for increasing cultivation for intermediate key refining. It is much better than the yucky pill bought by Ye Changsheng, and of course it is much more expensive. 6 bottles of King Iron pill. King Iron pill is the best pill for improving cultivation in the late stage of key refining. These 6 bottles are enough for Ye Changsheng to cultivate to the great perfection of key refining. Calculate the spirit stones. Ye Changsheng is like a tool man, spending money lavishly. Okay, King's pills cost 300 spirit stones per bottle. Gion pills cost 280 spirit stones per bottle. King Iron pills cost 500 spirit stones per bottle. Chenghu 10,480 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng walked out of Wufu Chamber of Commerce in a leisurely manner under the reception of his attendants. I had 4,320 spirit stones in my pocket. When I came in point I still had 4,400 spirit stones. When I came out point, even if his wallet had not shrunk point. Just as Ye Changsheng was about to turn around and leave, a shopkeeper in a golden Taoist robe came over. Fellow Taoist, please stay. This is our Wufu Chamber of Commerce's auction invitation. You just spent 20,000 spirit stones and became our yellow level VIP. Our Wufu Chamber of Commerce has an auction every month. If you need it, you can come. The shopkeeper handed over an anonymous invitation. Thank you. Ye Changsheng bowed politely. Point there is an auction every month, and Ye Changsheng just wanted to search for a spiritual medicine and spiritual wood seeds. This anonymous invitation came just in time. Point. After leaving the Wufu Chamber of Commerce, Ye Changsheng boarded the flying boat, installed 20 spirit stones again, and flew into the sky like a gust of wind and lightning. Point. Plum garden, living room, grandpa, mother, uncle, aunt. I invited everyone here this time because I got another opportunity. Everyone was delighted when they heard this. As for what the opportunity is and how often it is, I'm sorry I can't tell you because of my oath, but I have digested it. This time, I bought a lot of things for everyone. Ye Changsheng said slowly. First of all, the elixir. Mother, uncle, and aunt are all over 30 years old. If you want to complete the foundation before the age of 60, you can't practice at this speed now. All 3 of them are in the 5th level of key refining point. So I bought each of you the best elixir for increasing your cultivation in the middle stage of key refining. Guandan, 4 bottles per person. Point. After that, Ye Changsheng took out 12 bottles of Guandan from the storage bag and drove 4 bottles per person under the power of magic, floating in front of each of the 3 people. Point. Ye Xianyu and Ye Xianyan were very excited. Especially Uncle Ye Xianyu, who couldn't help but speak. Changsheng, this is too extravagant, but this Guan pill is really good. I feel that my cultivation has slightly increased after opening the bottle and smelling it. Cui. Linglong's face showed worry. Point. Ye Jiu, who sat at the top with a serious face and did not speak. Uncle, don't say anything yet. What else is there? Wait until I have distributed everything to everyone, then you can talk. Enough. Okay, Ye Changsheng said with a smile. Okay, Changsheng, continue talking. Uncle will listen to you. Ye Xianyu said with a smile, not caring at all. Grandpa is old. He is over 60, so I also bought him the King Iron pill that is most suitable for increasing cultivation in the late stage of key refining. After that, Ye Changsheng took out 6 bottles of King Iron pill and handed them to Ye Jiu, who. Point. Ye Jiu, who nodded slightly. I guess everyone is worried that taking drugs all the time will have a negative impact on the body in cultivation. Don't worry, I also bought 2 bottles of Kingson pills for everyone, and I guarantee that everyone will be treated the same as the children of the big sect. After that, 2 more bottles of Kingson pills appeared in front of each person. Point. At this time, the 3 people, including Cui Linglong, were more excited. Point. As a cultivator who doesn't want to make greater progress in cultivation, next is the magic weapon. Ye Changsheng continued lightly. I chose the best first grade defensive magic weapon I could find at that time, the Black Turtle Shield, 1 for each person. After that, 4 more shield magic weapons were distributed. Point. Even Ye Jiu, who couldn't sit still now and stroked the Black Turtle Shield with some excitement. I saw this Black Turtle Shield last time, but it was too expensive. It cost a full 300 spirit stones, which was half of my previous fortune. Grandpa, our family is not short of spirit stones now, and your safety is the most important thing. Ye Changsheng said. Ye Jiu, who nodded without saying anything. Also, when you are on the road or fighting, you can quickly evacuate the battlefield, or stay away from the enemy that you cannot deal with temporarily. The escape speed is very important. This is a first-class high-quality flying boat. It focuses on the escape speed. When the formation is maximized, it can be 3 times faster than an ordinary flying boat. It is a life-saving weapon. This kind of flying boat is also one for each person. After that, 4 more flying boats landed in front of the 4 people. By the way, Grandpa, your flying sword should have been replaced long ago. I also bought you a first-class high-quality flying sword. After that, a flying sword with a cold light fell in front of Ye Jiu point. As soon as he got it, Ye Jiu couldn't let it go and stroked it. Ye Jiu, whose temper is just like his name. He fights fiercely, but every time he fights with people of the same level, he loses because of the poor quality of his flying sword. But this time is different. Ye Jiu feels that his namely Leo who has returned. Chapter 10 Family. Because the spiritual energy of our Ye family is only at the first level, mid-level level at best, which will greatly slow down everyone's cultivation progress, especially since Grandpa has been in the late stage of key refining for a long time, and has just broken through to the 8th level of key refining. It must be because his spiritual veins are too low, and he is being dragged down. Therefore, I bought everyone a set of first level high quality spirit gathering formations that can be carried with them. I'm afraid that everyone will be reluctant to part with the spirit stones. Each formation comes with 500 spirit stones just like that. There was another storage bag in front of the 4 people, which contained a portable spirit gathering array and 500 spirit stones. Finally, everyone still lacks the means to fight. So for the last item, I focused on purchasing a batch of talismans. 10 first grade high quality fire dragon talismans for each person. 10 first grade high grade diamond amulets for each person. 10 first level top grade wind escape talismans for each person. Besides, Grandpa, you have reached the late stage of key refining, and you don't have a trump card in your hand. I bought you the 2nd level low grade fire dragon talisman, the Vajra body talisman, and the wind escape talisman, 3 each. After speaking, a stack of talismans flew in front of everyone. After hearing what Ye Changsheng said, everyone took a breath. Holding the 2nd level talisman in his hand, Ye Jiu who looked very excited. Ah, Changsheng, these talismans are worth tens of thousands of spiritual stones. You're so wasteful. He shook his head as he spoke. How many opportunities have you received for immortality, but you can't create it like this? CUI. Linglang felt a little distressed. It doesn't matter, I can still have the opportunity, but now you all have family tasks, and I don't want anything to happen to any of you. As long as you are safe and can practice and achieve breakthroughs, no matter how many spirit stones you have, it's worth it. Changsheng, before you I didn't give much help to you mother and son. Now that I accept these resources, I deserve it. After that, push the thing out. Auntie, we are a family. You are my relative. Don't think too much. If you have to worry about gains and losses, are we still a family? Now that I have the opportunity, I not only hope that everyone can be safe, but also hope that everyone can pass the foundation establishment. Where is the purple mansion? When I give birth to a lot of babies, will I still need the help of several Zifu ancestors at home to take care of them? Ye Changsheng joked. You brat, you want to have a lot of babies, even when you are young, but his aunt, Changsheng, is right. We are a family. There is no distinction between you and me. We, mother and son, could not have made it this far without the help of you and your sister, father-in-law. If you say you don't accept these things, you are a bit out of touch. Please collect them quickly. CUI. Linglang said solemnly. Linglang is right. None of you are outsiders of immortality. Even I, the grandfather, accept it with peace of mind. How can you not accept it? It's just that we have to find excuses to cover up this opportunity of Changsheng or the opportunities in the future. Otherwise, We won't be able to explain it clearly sooner or later, Ye Changsheng said solemnly. Yes, we can actually go out as a family from time to time to pretend to explore. Anyway, we have the spirit gathering array and spirit stones to practice anywhere. Otherwise, while I'm staying at home, I'm going to use a shotgun instead of a cannon, and anyone will be suspicious. Ye Changsheng spoke. That's right, that's it. From tomorrow on, Changsheng, you can use Lingxi to cancel the tasks within the clan. Go out and explore the secret realms and ancient monk caves in a decent way. Pay attention to releasing some clues. Go home in a while. Changsheng and I will go out with you and pretend that the whole family is going to get a chance. By coming a few times a year, we can clear up some suspicions. Ye Changsheng arranged. My father is still the same old man. If you are immortal, remember not to reveal your wealth and practice in a low-key manner at home. Do you remember? Cui Linglang came to warn Ye Changsheng. I know, mother. Ye Changsheng replied. Okay, now our family's fortunes have really turned around. It seems that we are all on track to build a foundation. Ye Changsheng said something profound. Ye Changsheng and Ye Changsheng became even more excited after hearing this, because due to Ye Changsheng's majesty, they did not dare to ask what kind of opportunity Ye Changsheng had. But after hearing what Ye Changsheng said, they felt that Ye Changsheng's opportunity was at least to level point. They were very excited. Foundation establishment ancestor. No one wouldn't yearn for it. Ye Changsheng couldn't help but sigh that his grandfather was worthy of being a veteran. Based on these things, he guessed that his so-called secret realm was at least the second level. It seemed that no one, except his family, could reveal it in the future. Father, since we have the opportunity to live forever here, and now everyone has a chance to build a foundation, why not just quit the family? Wouldn't it be better for us to find the first order spiritual veins ourselves, and re-establish the Ye family? When you were seriously injured a few days ago, how did your family treat us? Aunt Ye Changsheng complained. Ye Changsheng also looked a little moved. Cui Linglang lowered his head and showed no expression. Ye Changsheng looked at Ye Changsheng and asked, what do you think, Changsheng? Grandpa, I don't think I can leave the family. First of all, we and the family are members of the same family. Blood is thicker than water. We can't be so decisive. Secondly, when grandpa you break through to foundation building, you become the number one member of the family, and the entire family becomes our help. If we go out alone to establish a family, take care of the medicine garden, guard the spiritual field, and explore the news, we will need a large number of clan members. Without clan members connected by blood, there are some things that we can't worry about. So, no matter what, we can't break away from the family. Ye Changsheng talked eloquently. Well, not bad. Changsheng still has vision. Ye Changsheng stroked his beard and said with a smile, you all must remember that without the family, there would be no me, and without me, there would be no you. We have always had blood ties with the family. This is a fact. The decision to move away from the main peak before, because we could not maintain the late stage of key refining, was a family rule. After all, I was injured and could not go further, so it is right to vacate the position for the potential members behind. In this way, the family can maintain its vitality and vitality. Besides, this family rule was proposed by me, so you can no longer hold a grudge against this matter. Did you hear it? Everyone was stunned when they heard this. Then they said in unison, I heard it. By the way, the clan leader learned that you had recovered a few days ago and sent you a bottle of healing pills, saying that it was to express his apology. Ye Changsheng took out a bottle of pills. Well, you can tell the clan leader later that I don't take it to heart and ask him not to worry. As for the bottle of elixir, I felt it was good before because of Changsheng, but now I don't like it. You can take it. You can still sell it for dozens of spirit stones. Ye Changsheng said, okay, father. Changsheng, if you have a suitable opportunity in the family, you should also take care of it. Ye Changsheng asked Ye Changsheng again. I know, grandpa. Ye Changsheng replied, but now our family's main goal is your foundation building. You just need to hone your true essence to try to refine the 9th level of Ki, and I will find a way to make spiritual medicine. Mother, uncle, aunt, you are the same. I will definitely have more than 1 or 2 opportunities. You just need to practice. It seems that our way to longevity depends entirely on the rich man in our family. Haha, Ye. Jiuhu laughed. Chapter 11 Alchemy. After the family meeting, Ye Changsheng returned directly to his courtyard point, entering the retreat room with a thought. I came to the fairy tree space point after a few days. The roots of the fairy tree above the space are getting denser and thicker, and several of the main rhizomes are getting stronger. This shows that the immortal tree has become stronger again by absorbing the energy in the void point. The aura concentration in the space and the aura of the surface soil are also constantly increasing. The first and second level loving kindness fruit trees are also becoming more and more lush. Only half a month has passed since the immortal tree space was created. The first order fairy dew, second order fairy dew, and third order fairy dew that came with the space were all used up by Ye Changsheng. The next drop of first level fairy dew will not be generated until half a month. Ye Changsheng only had Xingshenks and pear seeds and sunling sunflower seeds in his hands. After all, fairy dew is precious, and Ye Changsheng doesn't want to waste it on ordinary spiritual objects. Ye Changsheng buried the seeds of Shenks and pear and sunling key in the ground. When the new first level immortal dew is available, I plan to use it on Shenks and Lee first. After all, it can upgrade the key refining monk to a level without any side effects. This kind of spiritual fruit is too precious during the key refining period. Ye Changsheng also has plans for his own practice. As the level of cultivation increases, the elixirs produced by the fairy dew become more and more precious. Therefore, in order to prevent the space from being exposed, it is best to make certain preparations for self-production and self-marketing. This requires Ye Changsheng to be an alchemist. Fortunately, he has the 3 spiritual roots of earth, wood, and fire, which is suitable for alchemy. After leaving the space, Ye Changsheng flew towards the family general affairs hall with his sword. The person sitting in the general affairs hall today is the 7th elder Ye Jialin. The generation of the Ye family is the path to immortality is ethereal, famous throughout the 9 heavens, immortal, and transformed into immortality. Now, the most senior member of the Ye family is the supreme elder, Ye Dongren, who is at the 9th level of key refining. Next are the 9 elders of the 9 generation, namely, Great Elder, Ye Jiuhu 2nd Elder, Ye Jiahang 3rd Elder, Ye Jiubeo 4th Elder, Ye Jiuang 5th Elder, Ye Jiashan 6th Elder, Ye Jiuhua 7th Elder, Ye Jialin 8th Elder, Ye Jiuli 9th Elder, Ye Jiafeng. The young and young generation are all born with the word, or 7th Elder. I would like to exchange the family's first alchemy solution in the first level low-grade alchemy furnace. Ye Changsheng bowed and asked respectfully, Changsheng, are you sure you want to practice alchemy? Besides practicing, your grandfather has never lacked your cultivation resources. This will affect your cultivation, the 7th Elder Ye Jialin said with some worry. 7th Elder, I have encountered a bottleneck in my practice recently, and I'm interested in alchemy. You see, I also have wood-fire spiritual roots, so I want to try alchemy. Ye Changsheng continued to answer respectfully. Then, does your grandpa know? Ye Jialin was worried and continued to ask. Grandpa has already agreed and is very supportive of me. You see, my status jade medal also contains the contribution he transferred to me. Ye Changsheng handed over his identity jade tag. Yes, that is indeed the case, but the preliminary solution to alchemy requires 50 contributions, and the first level low-grade alchemy furnace requires 180 contributions. You only have 80 contributions now, which is not enough. Ye Jialin said, disciple has prepared another 150 spirit stones. The Ye family stipulates that 1 spiritual stone is equivalent to 1 contribution. Okay, that's just right. Take these jade slips and alchemy furnace. Ye Jolin took out the items and wrote off Ye Changsheng's contribution point. In fact, Ye Changsheng now has no shortage of spiritual stones in his hands, and he still has 2,400 spiritual stones on his body point. But first of all, these things are not expensive. The family happens to have them, and they can be used to hide them from others in the future. Point secondly, Ye Changsheng was concerned that he could not go out all the time, otherwise someone would find out. Point as for the alchemy materials, Ye Changsheng directly issued 100 tasks for collecting keyed materials here in the general affairs hall. Point it cost 100 spirit stones. The Naki pill can only be regarded as a semi-spiritual pill, suitable for monks who have just entered the first level of key refining to take to increase their cultivation. Point the finished product can only be sold for 1 spiritual stone. Point it couldn't be better to be Ye Changsheng's training hand. Point a few days later, with the arrival of the last batch of alchemy materials, Ye Changsheng's small courtyard was filled with various herbs and spiritual materials. Ye Changsheng has read a preliminary solution to alchemy over and over again in the past few days, and now he has understood it. Point he carefully checked all the materials, and after confirming that they were correct, he began to prepare the elixir. Ye Changsheng returned to his retreat room, where he had already arranged the first level low grade alchemy furnace exchanged from the family general affairs hall, as well as some necessary auxiliary tools such as jade boxes and jade pestles. This will be his alchemy room from now on. Point he first placed the alchemy furnace in the center of the room, and then began to arrange the formations required for alchemy according to the instructions in a preliminary solution to alchemy. Point he took out 36 spiritual stones from the storage bag and placed them around the alchemy furnace in specific directions. Each spiritual stone was connected with spiritual threads to form a small fire gathering array. Point this formation can gather the surrounding fire spiritual energy to provide more pure spiritual fire for alchemy. Point as the formation was activated, the spiritual energy in the alchemy room began to flow slowly, gradually converging towards the alchemy furnace. Point Ye Changsheng sat cross-legged in front of the alchemy furnace, calmed down his mind, and began to try to sense every change in the furnace. Point he put the alchemy materials into the alchemy furnace one by one in a specific order, and each input was accompanied by precise control of the heat. Point although Ye Changsheng was refining pills for the first time, he gradually figured out the tricks of refining pills with his sensitive control of spiritual power and the talent of the 3 spiritual roots of earth, wood and fire. Point as time passed, the temperature in the alchemy room gradually increased, which was preheating the alchemy furnace. Point after the preheating was completed, Ye Changsheng put in purple salvia milchiahiza in turn as the main material of the pill. The purple salvia milchiahiza slowly released a faint purple gas in the furnace. Point then added silverleaf grass, which was gently sprinkled into the furnace and intertwined with the purple gas of purple salvia milchiahiza, forming a mysterious spiritual power fluctuation. Point next was the flaming fruit. The flaming fruit was wrapped by Ye Changsheng with spiritual power and put into the furnace. The fire attribute spiritual power in the fruit was gradually extracted, providing the necessary heat for alchemy. Point the materials in the alchemy furnace began to slowly merge. Point finally, the green spirit stone was activated by Ye Changsheng with a special technique and put into the alchemy furnace. The spiritual medicine in the entire furnace began to undergo wonderful changes under the catalysis of the green spirit stone. Point during the whole process of alchemy, Ye Changsheng would occasionally inject spells into the furnace to harmonize the spiritual power of the spiritual medicines and ensure the quality of the medicines. As time went by, the alchemy furnace began to emit bursts of spiritual fragrance, indicating that the key absorbing pill was about to be refined. Point finally, under Ye Changsheng's precise control, the spiritual medicines in the furnace completed the final fusion, and a furnace of key absorbing pills was declared successfully refined. Open. With a light shout from Ye Changsheng, the lid of the alchemy furnace slowly opened, and a strong medicinal fragrance came to the nose. Point in the furnace, a round key absorbing pill lay quietly at the bottom of the furnace, flashing a faint spiritual light. Point the others were silver medicine ash. Point it was very good to make one pill for the first time in alchemy. Chapter 12 Meeting. Ye Changsheng carefully took out the Naki pill and put it into the jade bottle that had been prepared. He wiped the sweat from his forehead with a satisfied smile on his face point. After meditating and resting for a while, Ye Changsheng struck, while the iron was hot, and continued to make elixirs in the second furnace. The Chengdan is 0 point in the third furnace. A pill was made point the fourth furnace. A pill point the 17th furnace yielded 2 pills. The 38th furnace yielded 3 pills. Ye Changsheng's alchemy skills of Naki pillar steadily improving point. The 58th furnace yielded 4 pills. The 100th furnace yielded 6 pills. There are 12 full key pills and 6 stable pills, which is already a qualified level point. It has been 7 days since I finished refining the key naden point. Ye Changsheng was full of energy and wanted to continue refining the elixir until he could refine the key nadan and break through the elixir. Unfortunately, the material is no longer available point. At exactly this time, a messenger talisman flew from the outside world. Changsheng, come to the living room quickly. It was Ye Jiu, whose voice point Ye Changsheng did not dare to neglect, and used a cleaning technique on himself. After cleaning the smell of alchemy from his body, he hurried straight to the front hall point. When Ye Changsheng arrived, Ye Jiu, Ye Xianayu, Ye Xianayin, and Cui Linglang were already there point. As soon as Ye Changsheng stepped into the living room, he felt an unusual sense of joy point. Ye Jiu, who sat in the main seat with a smile on his face, looked at Ye Changsheng and said, Changsheng, you are here, sit down. I want to gather you all together today to hear about your recent cultivation progress and gains. Ye Xianayu spoke first, with an excited look on his face. Father, since the elixirs and formations provided by Changsheng, my cultivation speed has obviously accelerated. The bottleneck at the 5th level of key refining that has not been loosened for many years is beginning to show signs of loosening. I estimate that next year I will be able to steadily enter the 6th level of key refining, but this spirit gathering formation consumes a bit of spirit stones. 36 spirit stones have been used in the past 7 days. In the past, this was my year's training resources. I couldn't imagine it. Ye Xianayu feels like he is living in a dream recently. Uncle, if you feel that the spirit stones are not enough, my nephew still has them here. So just open up and use the spirit gathering array. Ye Changsheng said with a smile. No, Changsheng, you have already given me enough. I probably won't be able to use it this year. I just feel a little pity for the spirit stones. Ye Xianayu quickly waved his hand. Second brother, you are used to living a poor life. This time you have a rich man's good nephew, and you still can't get used to it. Ye Xianayin laughed. Father, I feel like I'm about to achieve a breakthrough in my recent cultivation. I expect there will be good news by the end of the year. Ye Xianayin said. Father, I also feel that the cultivation environment and resources are as good as heaven and earth compared to before. I expect a breakthrough next year as well. Cui Linglang said. Changsheng, have you made any progress in your alchemy? Ye Jiu, who asked, returning to Grandpa, I have been refining the key resisting pill these past few days, and I have been able to stabilize it at 6 pills per furnace. Ye Changsheng replied. Oh, Ye Jiu, whose eyes flashed. It's only been a few days and you've reached half of Mandan. As expected of Mythical, your alchemy talent is truly amazing. It seems that in a few years, the elixirs we cultivate will all depend on you. Ye Jiu, who stroked his beard and smiled. Grandpa is joking. Am I still early? If you don't call me, I'm going to leave today. I don't have any alchemy materials. Ye Changsheng said. Ye Jiu, who pondered for a moment and then said, Xianayu, it is up to you to purchase any alchemy materials that Changsheng needs in the future. Changsheng cannot expose so much financial resources. It will arouse suspicion. Ye Xianayu immediately responded. Yes, father, I will handle this matter as soon as possible. How can I help uncle with such a trivial matter? Let me take care of this matter, Grandpa. Ye Changsheng said a little apologetically. Changsheng, please don't be polite to your uncle. Second brother has a restless temper. He can't hold himself back while practicing at home. If you ask him to go out and buy elixirs, he can relax. Ye Xianayin said with a smile. Yes, Changsheng, you have helped me so much. What's wrong with me buying you something? Don't rob me of this matter. Ye Xianyu said, Changsheng, since your uncle insists, just ask him to go. Cui. Linglang also said, okay, but uncle, you shouldn't reveal your identity all the time. I have some good stuff here to disguise your identity. You can keep it. Grandpa, mother, and aunt, you all have them too. After speaking, Ye Changsheng took out 400 leaves of the variety wood. This is the leaf of the variety tree that I obtained in the last chance. But the tree may be more than 1,000 years old, so the effect should be more than the second level. Ye Changsheng said. Yi Jiu, who picked up the leaf seriously, looked at it carefully for a long time, sighed and said, it's not just the second level. I think this leaf has reached the third level. The third level variety wood is really rare. Use this leaf. I don't think even the ancestors of the Z mansion can see through our disguise. This is another important treasure. Ye Jiu, who sighed. That's not all. With this, no matter how many opportunities there are in the future, we can slowly digest them. Ye Xian'an sighed. Yes, Changsheng said it well last time. Our vision should be in the late stage of key refining, or even in the foundation building stage. From now on, everyone will use spirit stones to redeem all family affairs and concentrate on cultivation. The goal of the mid stage of key refining is the late stage of key refining, and the goal of the late stage of key refining is key refining perfection. The road to immortality is long, so we must seize the day. Ye Jiu, who said decisively. Yes, everyone said in unison, in the blink of an eye. It was the 1-month period for the formation of the Immortal Tree space point. Inside the Immortal Tree space, Ye Changsheng stood in front of the Immortal Terrace, staring at the stone jar hanging under the first dragon head point. As his mind moved, a drop of crystal clear first level immortal dew slowly dripped from the stone jar. He carefully took the drop of immortal dew, felt the surging life force in it, and his heart was full of expectations afterwards. Ye Changsheng gently dropped this drop of precious immortal dew on the immortal pear seed buried in the spiritual soil point. As soon as the immortal dew touched the soil, it was quickly absorbed by the seed, and the whole seed began to emit a faint light. Ye Changsheng held his breath and stared, only to see the surface of the seed crack quickly. A wisp of tender green sprouts broke out of the soil and grew at an astonishing speed. In his sight, the seed of the immortal pear gradually grew into a small tree. The trunk gradually became thicker and changed from tender green to dark brown, and the texture on the bark was clearly visible. As the small tree continued to grow upward, it soon reached a height of 2 meters. Soon the immortal pear tree was full of flowers, and soon after, the flowers withered and produced early fruits. These fruits gradually grew from small green dots, the skin turned from green to white, and finally matured into round and jade-like immortal pears. Each immortal pear was full and round, and the surface exuded a faint spiritual light. Ye Changsheng counted again and again, and the tree finally produced a full 36 precious immortal pears. Chapter 13 Immortal Pear. Ye Changsheng picked a Shengsen pear and took a bite. The pear flesh was like nectar, with a hint of coolness in the sweetness, which instantly moisturized his whole body. He felt a pure spiritual power flowing through his body, resonating with his spiritual roots, and the spiritual power in his body began to grow slowly. Ye Changsheng began to operate the meridians and the sky route required by the family's first level low-level martial arts King Mu longevity Kung Fu. Over again, the manner is used to digest the nutrients brought by the Shengsen pear. Time passed slowly, and finally 3 days passed. Ye Changsheng opened his eyes. 5th level of key refining. This Shengsen pear is worthy of being the most precious cultivation treasure in the key refining period. 1 pear increases 1 level, and it truly deserves its reputation. However, because the growing conditions of Shengsen pears are a bit harsh, there are not many Shengsen pears available on the market, resulting in relatively high prices. Because there are many seeds in each Shengsen pear, many families have purchased them and prepared to plant them, but most of them have failed. Ye Changsheng divided the remaining 35 Shengsen pears into 1 jade box, 4 per jade box, and 30 per jade box. 4 pills are for family members. It doesn't mean you can't give more, because each person can only take 1 effective pill. 30 are ready for sale. The last one is prepared for unexpected needs. Counting the time, it's almost time for the Wufu Chamber of Commerce auction in Zhuanwufang City. To start point, Ye Changsheng planned to clean up and hurried over. Ye Changsheng planned not to miss any auction point. After all, there is Immortal Tree space and Immortal Dew. And only by constantly communicating with the outside world can the benefits be maximized. Only then can the family rise more quickly. For example, this extremely rare Changsheng pear, isn't it an opportunity that I got after expanding my communication with the outside world? Sometimes communication itself is an opportunity. Ye Changsheng walked directly to his grandfather Ye Jiuhu's retreat this time. Changsheng, what do you want to do with grandpa? This time, is there any new opportunity for this old man like me? Ye Jiuhu laughed. Grandpa, you are so eloquent and accurate. What a new opportunity, Ye Changsheng replied. Opening the jade box, 4 pure white Changsheng pears glowing with a hazy aura were revealed. This isn't the legendary Changsheng pear, is it? Ye Jiuhu asked, a little surprised. Yes, Grandpa, it's Changxianli. There are 4 pills here, 1 for each member of the family. Could you please share them with me? For the rest, I'm going to Fangxi today to exchange resources and see if there are any surprises. Ye Changsheng said with a smile. Okay, Changsheng, you have such a great opportunity. The opportunities are so rich. This is a great opportunity, a huge opportunity. Ye Jiuhu murmured. Ye Changsheng also knew that, based on what happened before and after, his grandfather probably understood what his chance was, but he could not tell the truth. After Ye Changsheng finished explaining to Ye Jiuhu, he took out a leaf of the variety wood, made a magic spell, and turned into the appearance of a fat middle-aged man. He took out the flying boat and flew away. Because the flying boat escaped very quickly and Ye Changsheng was not stingy with spiritual stones, he flew to Zhuanwufang city in the evening. When he arrived at Fangxi, Ye Changsheng went straight to Wufu Chamber of Commerce. He wanted to get rid of Changxianli first. He had not thought about selling it directly at the auction. Although the price would be higher, the auction would be crowded with people and the income would be too high profile. To be on the safe side, it is better to sell it to the Wufu Chamber of Commerce in advance. No matter how precious the Changsheng pear is, it is after all a spiritual fruit during the key refining period. The Wufu Chamber of Commerce is the flagship of the Zifu family, so there will definitely be no problems. After entering the Wufu Chamber of Commerce, Ye Changsheng walked directly to the elixir area and found a shopkeeper. Hello, I want to sell some precious elixirs. Do you have a convenient place? The shopkeeper understood immediately. Fellow Taoist, please come upstairs. When he arrived at the private room on the 2nd floor, Ye Changsheng took out a Changsheng pear. May I ask the shopkeeper, how many spiritual stones does your store receive for this kind of fruit? Changxianli. The shopkeeper didn't feel much surprise, as if he was used to seeing people cherishing spiritual fruits. Fellow Taoist, we have regulations here for Changxianli, which is to unify 1000 spiritual stones. No 2 prices. The shopkeeper added another sentence. Ye Changsheng had long known that Changsheng pear occasionally appeared at auctions, and most of them were traded for around 1200 spirit stones. After deducting the transaction fee, it is reasonable to charge 1000 spirit stones here. Okay, I just came back from the Zilong Mountains, and I'm in urgent need of spiritual stones. You're lucky, there are 30 of them here. Please settle them for me as soon as possible. Ye Changsheng imitated the impatient monk, took out the jade box, and said anxiously, no problem, fellow Taoist. After the shopkeeper took inventory, he directly asked someone to bring a storage bag. Ye Changsheng counted the 30,000 spirit stones, and there was no problem. Happily, I'll take my leave then. Ye Changsheng walked away directly. Ye Changsheng came to the inn in Fangxi and rented a room for 10 spirit stones. He immediately activated the formation, took out a leaf of the variety wood, pinched the magic formula, and transformed into a white-headed old man. After cleaning up, I felt that there was no floor, so I slowly walked out of the inn and went straight to the Wufu Chamber of Commerce auction house. After showing the anonymous invitation letter, Ye Changsheng successfully entered the auction house. And also entered the private room on the 2nd floor. After all, He spent 20,000 spirit stones last time, so he must be qualified to enter the private room. Sitting in the private room and looking out, the auction hall is full of luxury. The entire hall is elegantly decorated, hung with exquisite red silk and dotted with sparkling gems. Hundreds of seats are arranged neatly, and there is a small spiritual stone dropping device in front of each seat for bidding. The auctioneer is a middle-aged man, wearing a black robe with gold trim. His voice is loud, and has a unique charm, and every word can be accurately conveyed to every corner. Dear guests, welcome to today's spiritual treasure auction. I'm your auctioneer, Qin Feng. Today we have many precious items that will be displayed one by one. Please prepare your spiritual stones. With a wave of his hand, the first auction item was brought onto the stage. Our first auction item is a 1,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum from southern Xinjiang. This Ganoderma lucidum exudes rich spiritual energy and is an excellent material for refining second-level elixirs. The 1,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum from southern Xinjiang is placed in a transparent protective box. The box is filled with aura, and the whole body of the Ganoderma lucidum appears bright red, as if it contains flames. As Qin Feng's introduction ended, the auction officially began. The starting price is 500 spirit stones, and each increase in price must not be less than 50 spirit stones. As soon as he opened his mouth, someone started bidding. 600 spiritual stones, 650 spirit stones, 850 spiritual stones. In the end, the 1,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum was sold for 850 spiritual stones. Chapter 14 Auction. The next few auction items were equally precious. They included a defensive spell made of rare deep sea coral and a first-class flying sword that the forger spent 10 years to make. The introduction of each auction item was a visual and auditory feast that caught the eyes of the monks present. When a furnace that looked like it had a long history was brought to the auction table, the atmosphere in the venue heated up again. Qin Feng introduced excitedly, "Dear fellow Taoists, the next auction item is a very rare first-class furnace, called the Purple Cloud Furnace. It was cast by a master in the Foundation building period with dozens of rare ores. It has a very high efficiency in alchemy, and can increase the chance of successful refining. The surface of the Purple Cloud Furnace shone with a faint purple light, and the surface of the furnace was engraved with a pattern of clouds and mist. The furnace body exuded a faint spiritual power fluctuation, which was obviously extraordinary. The starting price is 2,000 spirit stones." The auction of the Purple Cloud Furnace caused a slight commotion in the venue. As soon as Qin Feng announced the starting price of 2,000 spirit stones, several cultivators who wanted to try began to bid. First, a middle-aged man wearing a half mask calmly raised his sign, 2,100 spirit stones. His voice spread throughout the auction hall through the formation, causing a lot of discussion. Not long after, another voice sounded. It was a young female cultivator. Her voice was crisp, 2,300 spirit stones. It seemed that she was quite interested in this Purple Cloud Furnace. 2,500 spirit stones. The bidder was an elderly cultivator. His attitude seemed very determined, and he seemed to need such an efficient alchemy tool very much. 3,000 spirit stones. The bidder was a young man in a private room on the second floor, looking young and energetic. He directly raised the price by 500 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng silently observed the bidding process, secretly measuring the true value of the Purple Cloud Furnace in his heart, which was just over 2,000 spirit stones. 3,000 spirit stones is indeed a bit too high a premium. Not worth it. He decided to give up. The auction is still going on. When a defensive magic weapon called Liuan Cloak came on stage, Ye Changsheng's eyes finally lit up. Qin Feng introduced. Liuan Cloak is a first-class top-grade magic weapon, made of Xiankan Liuan silk, with a built-in wind array. After wearing it, it can greatly increase the movement speed, and has a certain stealth effect. The starting price is 1,500 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng's eyes lit up. He was very interested in this Liuan cloak. After all, its dual effects of defense and escape speed can save lives in an emergency. A cultivator in the field immediately raised a sign, 1,500 spirit stones. Not long after, another voice followed up, 1,600 spirit stones. It was an old man with a slightly hoarse voice. 1,700 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng also joined the auction, his voice calm and firm. 1,800 spirit stones. The old man seemed very determined and raised the price again. Ye Changsheng raised his eyebrows slightly, thought for a moment, and then bid again. 1,900 spirit stones. The venue was silent for a few seconds, and then the old man took a deep breath and bid again. 2,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng watched the price slowly rise, and he was secretly anxious. He knew that such a magic weapon was very popular and the price would only get higher and higher. The price was soon pushed up to 2,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng finally couldn't hold back. 2,500 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng wanted to shock other bidders in this radical way. This move temporarily stabilized the price, and the venue fell into a brief silence. However, the grey-robed monk did not give up, sneered, and raised the price again. 2,600 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng saw that the situation was not good, and raised the price again without hesitation. 3,000 spirit stones. The atmosphere in the auction hall became more and more tense, and many spectators held their breath and stared, waiting for the next bid. The grey-robed monk pondered for a moment, and finally chose to withdraw, obviously not wanting to engage in meaningless competition. 3,000 spirit stones. First time. 3,000 spirit stones. Second time. 3,000 spirit stones. Third time. Deal. Qin Feng's voice echoed in the auction hall, marking that the Liuan cloak finally fell into Ye Changsheng's hands. Ye Changsheng breathed a sigh of relief, unable to hide his excitement. Finally got an item he liked. As the auction drew to a close, the atmosphere reached its climax. Qin Feng introduced the finale item in a slightly mysterious tone. The next auction item, the peach kernel of the longevity peach, comes from the ancient cave of a Taoist friend. Although the vitality is slightly dim, its rarity and magical effect are self-evident. The longevity peach is rare in the world, and can extend the life of practitioners. Starting price, 5,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng's eyes were fixed on the slightly dim seed. It didn't matter if the vitality was dim, as long as it was not completely dead. His fairy dew could give birth to it. The peach kernel of the longevity peach is the most precious spiritual seed Ye Changsheng has encountered so far. This is a rare opportunity, so we must act now. Once the seed is activated by the fairy dew, its value will far exceed today's 5,000 spirit stones. A middle-aged man started to bid 5,500 spirit stones. Almost as soon as he finished speaking, Ye Changsheng quickly raised his card. 6,000 spirit stones. 7,500 spirit stones. Then, the bidding in the venue came one after another, as if no one wanted to give up this precious seed that could prolong life. The price was quickly pushed up to 8,000 spirit stones. 9,000 spirit stones. An old man in a luxurious robe shouted coldly. Ye Changsheng pondered for a while, then said loudly, 10,000 spirit stones. His voice was firm, showing his determination to win. The venue was silent, and many people withdrew from the auction, because the price was far beyond their expectations. However, the old man did not seem to give up. 12,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng no longer hesitated, and directly jumped to 15,000 spirit stones. 15,000 spirit stones. This time, no one bid again. The surrounding noise gradually subsided, and all eyes were focused on Ye Changsheng, waiting for the final transaction. Qin Feng waved a small hammer in his hand, and announced with a hint of excitement, 15,000 spirit stones. The first time, 15,000 spirit stones. The second time, 15,000 spirit stones. The third time. Deal. As the hammer fell, the entire auction venue burst into applause. Ye Changsheng breathed a sigh of relief. He knew he had made the right bet. Despite the high price. With the successful auction of the Yanxiao peach seeds, the atmosphere of the auction reached its peak. The next two finale items were also unveiled, attracting everyone's attention. The first item was a rare spiritual bead called Star Tears. It is said that this spiritual bead was bred in the core of a meteor. contains the vast power of the stars, and can greatly enhance the holder's spiritual detection ability. The grade is about the second grade middle grade. The starting price is 20,000 spiritual stones. The bidding process was extremely fierce, and it was finally won by a mysterious master from the beaming sector at a high price of 38,000 spiritual stones. The last item was a set of second grade low grade defense formations called 28 Constellations Formation. This formation was created by the wisdom of many formation masters, and can be arranged around a small town or sect. The powerful defense is enough to withstand the full strength attack of 10 late stage foundation building cultivators. The starting price was 40,000 spiritual stones, and the bidding process was full of ups and downs. In the end, it was won by a small sect at a price of 105,000 spiritual stones. To protect the safety of the sect. With the completion of the last lot, the auction came to an end. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 Dowry. Ye Changsheng then exchanged the spirit stones and auction items with the Wufu Chamber of Commerce. After finishing the business, Ye Changsheng calculated that he had earned 30,000 spirit stones from selling the shanks and pear this time, and spent 18,000 spirit stones on the auction. The Liu Iron Cloak, the Yanshao Panteo seeds plus more than 10,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng felt that he was only at the 5th level of key refining, which was a mobile treasure house, and very dangerous. After entering the inn, Ye Changsheng immediately set up the gathering spirit formation to practice, swallowed a Gyuan pill, and began to practice. Now leaving the market, isn't it telling everyone that I just attended the auction, still alone? It's a fat sheep that is easy to take. So Ye Changsheng made up his mind to leave in a few days. 5 days later, Ye Changsheng in the inn room also just finished refining a Gyuan pill, which is worthy of being the best pill for increasing cultivation in the middle stage of key refining. He could clearly feel that his cultivation had increased a lot in the 5th level of key refining. However, although the elixir is good, it cannot be taken frequently, otherwise it will cause elixir poisoning. Ye Changsheng stretched his waist, patted his storage bag, and took out a leaf of the 100 changes wood. At the same time, he pinched the magic formula and turned into a majestic middle-aged man, and his key fluctuations were also in the late stage of key refining. With his appearance, Ye Changsheng walked out of the inn, left the market, released the flying boat, and left at lightning speed. Ye Changsheng went all the way back to the Ye family tiger garden, and no one robbed him. Ye Changsheng was once again surprised by the effect of the 3rd level 100 changes wood leaves. After Ye Changsheng returned home, he found that everyone was sitting in the front hall with a sad face. Especially Ye Xianyu, who looked vicissitudes and bowed his head deeply. Grandpa, mother, uncle, aunt, what are you worried about, Changsheng? It's about your uncle's Taoist partner. It turned out that Ye Xianyu had been dating a beautiful female cultivator in the middle stage of key refining named Liu Kana in recent years. Just when the relationship was going well, and the marriage was about to get better, a sudden change came along, and Liu Kana was spotted by someone else. The key point was that Liu Kana was a female cultivator from the Liu family, a foundation building family. She relied on her family for all her cultivation resources, and could not make her own decisions on marriage. The person who spotted her was the only son of a famous first-class top-grade alchemist in Zuanwu Market. Although he was only a first-class top-grade alchemist, the connections of this alchemist should not be underestimated. The person who proposed marriage was a good friend of the head of the Liu family, and the betrothal gift included a pill worth 2,000 spirit stones. I heard that the head of the Liu family was very tempted, but Liu Kana refused desperately, which delayed it for some time. Because Liu Kana's parents and relatives were all in the family, if Ye Xianyu could not come up with a solution, I'm afraid that this matter would end with Liu Kana marrying someone else. With Changsheng's opportunity, our family will be able to take out 2,000 spirit stones at that time. However, we are a key refining family, and we are not the patriarch. it is difficult for others not to suspect the source of these spirit stones. Secondly, this first level top grade alchemist is very useful and very helpful to the Liu family. For these reasons, even if the betrothal gift is of similar value, I'm afraid that the head of the Liu family will choose that side. Ye Jiuhu frowned and said slowly, hahaha, what's the difficulty? Ye Changsheng smiled heartily, Grandpa, have you all taken the fruit I left for you before I left? Ye Changsheng asked, everyone has taken it. I have already perfected key refining. Ye Jiuhu said excitedly, yes, we have all advanced to a high level. I didn't expect that Changsheng could get the legendary resource of Shanks and Pear. Ye Xian'an said happily. Point after the whole family's cultivation level has been advanced to a high level. Point Ye Jiuhu, key refining level 9 Cui Linglong, key refining level 6 Ye Xian'an, key refining level 6 Ye Xian'an, key refining level 6 Ye Changsheng. Key refining level 5. Everyone is a little confused about my confidence, right? May I ask which one you prefer, elixir or a spiritual fruit like Shanks and Pear that has no side effects and can improve key refining by 1 level? Ye Changsheng said to everyone with a smile. Point hearing this, Ye Xian'an's eyes lit up. Yes, we have such a precious spiritual fruit and we are not afraid of them at all in terms of betrothal gifts. Ye Jiuhu nodded. That's the truth. The key is how many Shanks and Pears you got in this opportunity. There is 1 left. Ye Changsheng said as he took out the jade box containing Shanks and Pear. Only 1. I'm afraid it's not enough to impress the Liu family. Ye Jiuhu was a little worried. Although there is only 1 now, I can guarantee that I will get Shanks and Pears in the next year, and the number will not be less than dozens. Ye Changsheng said word by word, and I'm going to include this in this betrothal gift. Ye Changsheng took out another jade box after he finished speaking. 2nd level compassion fruit. Ye Jiuhu said in surprise. Hey, everyone was shocked. It's not that everyone is making a fuss. The 2nd level compassion fruit is also a particularly rare spiritual fruit in the eyes of the foundation building ancestors. Yes, aren't you very curious about why Grandpa was able to recover from a serious injury and improve his cultivation? It's because Grandpa took the 2nd level compassion fruit, but the price our family paid is too high. Besides, it's better to keep such a precious life-saving spiritual fruit close to your family. Ye Xian'an was a little reluctant. Uncle, don't worry, you can still get the loving heart fruit, but if you miss the one you love, you will regret it for the rest of your life. In the face of Uncle's lifelong event, this price is still worth it. Ye Changsheng said sincerely. Changsheng, I don't even know how to thank you. You have provided us with so many resources, and you have shed so much blood for me. Ye Xian'an was not good at words, so he stood up as he spoke. Uncle, to be honest, we are a family and we are the closest people to each other. I'm going to be angry if you keep seeing people like this. When I get angry, maybe your bride price will be lost. As soon as Ye Changsheng finished speaking, everyone laughed. Changsheng is right. We are all a family, so we shouldn't say anything to outsiders. Ye Jiuhu also comforted Ye Xian'an. Okay, let's quickly study the betrothal gift and come up with a charter. Otherwise the night will be long and we will have many dreams. Cui Linglong said. Then the value of this ascension pear and the 2nd level loving heart fruit is not inferior to 2000 spiritual stones. Ye Jiuhu agreed. Time is running out. Xian'an and Changsheng, please come with me to the Liu family. Yes, Grandpa. Ye Changsheng replied. The Liu family is a foundation building family, but it is a new one. The ancestor of the family has only been promoted to the foundation building family for 20 years. Therefore, the Liu family's background is relatively shallow, which is why the head of the Liu family is so interested in the betrothal gift and the friendship with the 1st level high grade alchemist. The Liu family is in the north of the Ye family, relatively far away from the Ye family. It took a day and a half for Ye Jiuhu's flying boat to fully activate the spirit stone formation. Arriving in front of the Liu family's formation, the flying boat descended. Chapter 16, Kung Fu. Please inform me that the eldest elder of the Ye family, Ye Jiuhu, is here with his family's descendants. Ye Jiuhu said to the guard point after a while. A member of the Liu family's Zik clan led the 3 Ye family members to the main hall of the Liu family. Ye family, Ye Jiuhu, Nao Nuo, Nao Nuo, Liu family, Liu Bay, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. After being introduced by the Zik clan members of the Liu family, Ye Jiuhu and the head of the Liu family greeted each other. Clan leader Liu, let me get straight to the point. This time I'm here for Kwan's marriage to the noble lady Liu Kana. Ye Jiuhu said. Elder Ye, don't mention this matter. My Liu Kana has been promised to the only son of Master He from Zhuanwufang City. The engagement day is in these few days. If some of you came here just for this matter, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Liu Bei said with a serious face. Hearing this, Ye Xianyu blushed and was about to stand up, but was held down by Ye Changsheng from behind. Clan Chief Liu, why don't you take a look at my family's betrothal gift before drawing a conclusion? Ye Jiuhu also directly took out the jade box and pushed it over, but Liu Bei glanced at it and had no intention of taking it. The things in this jade box of my blind date will definitely impress you, I promise. Ye Jiuhu said word for word. Seeing Ye Jiuhu being so solemn, Liu Bei's face moved slightly. Opened the jade box in front of him. After seeing the 2 spiritual fruits in the jade box, his expression changed drastically. Shengsen pear, loving kindness fruit? No, it's the 2nd level loving kindness fruit, Liu Bei said in surprise. Clan Chief Liu is worthy of being a patriarch from the establishing family. You can actually tell the origin of these 2 spiritual fruits at a glance. Ye Jiuhu said calmly. Liu Bei's hands were trembling slightly. He stood up and kept pacing in the living room. Apparently he was having trouble making a decision. Clan leader Liu, although the elixir is good, it can't be compared with a spiritual fruit like Shengsen pear that can quickly increase 1 level without any side effects. What's more, this 2nd level loving heart fruit is a very cherished treasure in the eyes of the Foundation establishment ancestor. If you present this fruit, your ancestor will definitely be very satisfied with you. In my opinion, this deal is definitely much more cost effective than some key refining stage elixirs. Ye Changsheng interrupted. Liu Bei didn't care that a junior like Ye Changsheng interrupted and smiled bitterly. Of course I know, but you don't know that there is a incomplete 2nd level skill in the betrothal gift. This technique is also urgently needed by our Liu family. It's that a 2nd level skill that can only be practiced during the key refining period. Ye Jiuhu said. Yes, although it can only be practiced at the key refining level, the 2nd level skills are the 2nd level skills. Brother Ye, you must also know that practicing 2nd level skills is not only faster and more powerful, but also makes it easier to advance to the foundation building stage. But your 2nd level loving heart fruit is indeed very tempting to our Liu family, and that's why I got into trouble. Liu Bei said with a wry smile. Clan leader Liu, why bother? Today is an auspicious day. Let's put down the betrothal gift first. Our Ye family guarantees that within 1 year, the Liu family will have the priority to trade 10 Shengsen pairs. The nobles just lack the foundation. It doesn't mean that they can't do without this incomplete 2nd level skill, right? Besides, this incomplete 2nd level skill can still be bought at auctions. 11 Shengsen pairs can increase the key refining stage of 11 people without any side effects. Maybe as a result, your Liu family will have 1 more foundation building ancestor. This way you will know at a glance which is more important and which is less important. Of course, if you suspect us of telling lies, we can guarantee that if you don't get 10 Shengsen pairs from us within a year, you will return the betrothal gift. What do you think? Ye Changsheng talked eloquently. Is this true? Liu Bei's eyes widened. Ye Changsheng and Ye Jiuhu looked at each other. This is true, I promise. If your Liu family cannot get another 10 Shengsen pairs according to the time limit, the betrothal gift does not need to be returned. Do you still have doubts about this, Chief Liu? Ye Geo, who is more generous? I have no doubts. The Ye family is so generous. It is fitting that Liu Kana will marry Mr. Ling. Liu Bei agreed. Actually, I know that Liu Kana and Mr. Ling have the same affection. These betrothal gifts are nothing. Our Liu family is more interested in Liu Kana's wishes. Liu Bei said. Understood. Completely understood. Ye Geo, who also smiled. Liu Bei was a little embarrassed after hearing this, but our Ye family also has a condition. The things about the Shanks and pear and the second order loving heart fruit in our betrothal gift must be kept secret. We don't want others to know that we have these things on us. Ye Geo, who said, no problem, I can guarantee it. Liu Bei said. Clan Chief Liu, where is Kana now? I want to see her. Ye Changsheng was a little anxious. Mr. Ye, I have given Liu Kana a fatal order to retreat. Now she must not come out to see you, to prevent her cultivation from being damaged, but don't worry, I've accepted the betrothal gift. I won't accept any more betrothal gifts from the He family later on. I have said before, our Liu family still values the personal wishes of our clan members. Liu Bei said with an upright face. Okay, I believe that patriarch Liu must be a man who promises a lot of money. The Liu family is a great foundation building family, and I trust your family's character even more. In that case, let's take our leave. After Ye Jiu, who bowed, he took Ye Changsheng and Ye Changsheng out of the Liu family point on the flying boat. Ye Changsheng bowed solemnly to Ye Changsheng. Changsheng, thank you so much this time, otherwise my marriage would have been in trouble. Ye Changsheng quickly helped Ye Changsheng up. Uncle, you are embarrassing me. I'm your nephew, and it is my duty to help. Uncle, we didn't pay much more for the betrothal gifts. We didn't need those immortal pears anyway. We originally planned to sell them to big merchants. Now we sell them to the Liu family at the market price, which is not a loss at all. Ye Changsheng explained. The only thing to worry about is whether the Liu family keeps it secret. I heard that Liu Beishan, the ancestor of the Liu family, is a very upright person. Although Liu Bei is a bit mercenary, he should not do such a thing. Ye Jiu, who said calmly. Ye Changsheng nodded. Grandpa, Liu Bei just reminded me that our family's skills are no longer applicable. You have reached the 9th level of key refining. Our family has no shortage of cultivation resources. You have to prepare for foundation building. It is best for you to change to the 2nd level skills before building the foundation. This will increase the success rate of foundation building. Ye Changsheng said. I know that our family's 7 stars return to origin gong is indeed outdated, but for us, the 2nd level skills are a bit out of reach. Ye Jiu, who frowned and said lightly. In fact, you can go to the auction to try your luck. I heard that the 3rd level market Lingyuan market had an auction that showed a 2nd level skill a few years ago. Ye Changsheng said. Lingyuan market is too far away from us. By the time we get the news, the auction may have been completed. I heard that there are cultivators who have resources that the major chambers of commerce urgently need. We can exchange them with them, and we can exchange them for a 2nd level skill. Ye Jiu, who said. The speaker is unintentional, but the listener is intentional. Ye Changsheng secretly took note. Chapter 17. Peaches. After returning to the Ye family, Ye Changsheng began his life of cultivation alchemy cultivation. As for the space of the true dragon Immortal Tree, Ye Changsheng did not plan to take care of it in detail. Because according to the characteristics of the fairy dew, it is obviously the most cost effective to plant spiritual fruit trees in it. Now there is a 3rd level 100 changes wood, a 2nd level compassion fruit tree, a 1st level shanks and pear tree, and a 1st level compassion fruit tree in the space of the true dragon Immortal Tree. These spiritual fruit trees are lush and green, but it will take several years before the next fruit. Time is like flowing water, and the date for the 1st level fairy dew to be generated in the space of the true dragon Immortal Tree has arrived. Ye Changsheng came to the 1st dragon head, and his magic power moved slightly to lead the fairy dew into the jade bottle. He came to the peach pit, where the tree pit had been dug long ago. and dripped the fairy dew on the peach pit point. I saw that the peach pit quickly absorbed the fairy dew, and in a blink of an eye, a violent mana fluctuation broke out, and a green bud quickly broke through the peach pit shell and stretched out, and at the same time, roots and leaves pierced through the peach pit shell, and went deep into the ground. The tender green branches and leaves on the ground quickly climbed up, growing to more than 2 people tall, while the branches became thicker, and the skin turned from green to brown. Soon, the peach tree was full of pink buds. Then it quickly withered. The peaches inside grew slowly, eventually turned red, and exuded a fragrance that penetrated the soul. Looking around, this peach tree had a total of 18 peaches. Ye Changsheng smelled the fragrance, and couldn't help picking some, and eating them. The peach flesh was as smooth as milk when it entered his mouth, and it went into his stomach along with the core. Ye Changsheng didn't dare to waste it, and he meditated directly to refine this spiritual power with the circulation of one cycle after another. It wasn't until 7 days later that Ye Changsheng opened his eyes and found that he had reached the peak of the 5th level of key refining. As long as he practiced for a while, he could break through to the 6th level of key refining point, but he knew that he had not digested all the medicinal power of the peaches. After all, this is a longevity peach. It is not just as simple as increasing life by 9 years. The benefits will gradually manifest as Ye Changsheng practices in the future. Ye Changsheng put the remaining 17 peaches into 2 jade boxes. One box has 16 peaches, and the other box has 1 peach. After leaving the space, he went directly to Ye Jiuhu's retreat. Grandpa, this is my new opportunity. It is especially good for your old body, Ye Changsheng said, taking out a jade box. Is this a peach? Ye Jiuhu said with a little surprise. Yes, Grandpa, and it is the most precious longevity peach among the peaches. Eating one can extend your life by 9 years. It is suitable for your current body. If you take one, you will have no worries before building your foundation, Ye Changsheng said. Because Ye Jiuhu was over 60, his physical body was very insufficient in ki and blood. Even if he had some high quality foundation building pills, the chance of breakthrough was not as great as that of young people. But the longevity peaches were different. Not only did they increase his lifespan, but they also cured his hidden illness and strengthened his body, making his body the same as that of a young man. Okay. I originally thought that building a foundation was far away. With all the opportunities my precious grandson has, why worry about not being able to build a foundation? Ye Jiuhu was a little excited, and his beard fluttered. Grandpa, building a foundation is not your end point. Our goal is the longevity path. Ye Changsheng also happily encouraged the old man. The two talked for a while, and Ye Changsheng watched Ye Jiuhu take the peaches himself, and then withdrew. Ye Changsheng gave instructions to the servants, left the Ye family formation, and drove the flying boat to the north. Zuanwu Market is in the south of the Ye family, and Lingyuan Market is in the north of the Ye family. Ye Changsheng smashed the spirit stone, and opened the flying boat's rapid formation to the maximum. It took 2 days to reach Lingyuan Market. After entering Lingyuan Market, Ye Changsheng went straight to Liu's business. Yes, at this time, the business of the Liu family, the family that controlled Lingyuan Market. The Liu family is a Daoting family, and its dignity is higher than that of the Zifu family. After Ye Changsheng entered the Liu's business, he found that the grey-clothed waiters were all intermediate key refining cultivators, and the major shopkeepers were all late key refining cultivators. But Ye Changsheng did not stay on the first floor, but went directly to the second floor. On the second floor, he found a purple-robed cultivator-like manager. Senior, I have rare spiritual medicines to sell. I wonder if your business is interested. Ye Changsheng bowed and said, oh, rare spiritual medicines, do you know how precious it is for us foundation building cultivators to be called rare spiritual medicines? The purple-robed cultivator was named Liu He. He was a member of the Liu family's side branch. His aptitude was not good, but because he was good at business, he was given a foundation building pill by his family, and he succeeded in building his foundation with good luck. And he has been here to help the shopkeeper manage the Liu family business. After all, Lingyuan market is too big, there are too many cultivators, and thousands of people enter the Liu family business every day. Liu he is specifically responsible for the sale of second level treasures. He saw that Ye Changsheng was only in the middle stage of key refining. Although Ye Changsheng was still disguised as a middle-aged man this time, he doubted that Ye Changsheng could not come up with anything good. Seeing this, Ye Changsheng directly sent a voice message, prolonging life peach. Liu he was shocked. My friend, please take a seat. Prolonging life peach. There was a tremor in Liu he's voice, and it was obvious that he realized the preciousness of this spiritual medicine. Ye Changsheng nodded and confirmed Liu he's guess. My friend, please follow me. Liu. He stood up and led Ye Changsheng through a secret door to a quieter secret room. We can talk here without being disturbed by outsiders. Liu. He motioned Ye Changsheng to sit down and then personally poured him a cup of spiritual tea. Ye Changsheng did not say much and directly took out the jade box containing peaches from the storage bag and gently placed it on the table. Liu he opened the jade box and saw a peach with spiritual light inside, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. It is indeed a longevity peach, and judging from the color, it should be top grade without a doubt. Liu. He exclaimed, yes, this is an ancient peach that came from an ancient secret realm. Although it is only a first grade top grade peach, it can extend life for 9 years. The second one has half the effect. For some elderly monks of the nobles, it is a priceless treasure. Ye Changsheng said lightly. Liu he nodded approvingly and asked, how would you like to trade? I need a second level technique without attributes. The techniques in the world of cultivating immortals are divided into techniques with attributes and techniques without attributes. The techniques that target the physical attributes of each cultivator are of course faster to practice. For example, the purple wood mysterious yang sutra is suitable for people with wood spiritual roots. The Zhengjin heavenly fire sutra is suitable for people with golden fire spiritual roots. The Yi family's family technique 7 stars return to origin is a first level middle grade technique without attributes. Although this technique is not as fast to practice as techniques with attributes, it is widely applicable and is the choice of many small families. Chapter 18 Second Level Kung Fu. Although Ye Changsheng could trade all the life-extending flat peaches with the Liu family this time, it was a second level technique suitable for the spiritual root attributes of the family members, but this kind of movement is really a bit big. Now the Daoting family only trades one second level skill, so there is no problem anyway. Liu he pondered for a moment, and then said, the second level skills are expensive. Any copy is the foundation of a foundation building family. Those who are not from the Changbao family will not trade. However, since my little friend has brought a strange fruit like the life-extending flat peach, I believe the family will be interested in it. Well, I'll ask the family for instructions first, and then I'll give you an answer. Liu. He stood up and signaled Ye Changsheng to wait. After a while, Liu he returned to the room with a hint of joy on his face. The family agreed to trade a second level low grade non-attributed technique to fellow Taoist, but this flat peach is not enough for fellow Daoist. Liu. He restrained his joy and looked serious. I wonder if you think it would be more reasonable to exchange a few flat peaches for noble skills. Ye Changsheng asked calmly. At least 10. Liu and Shiliu opened their mouths. Sorry senior, I really don't have that many flat peaches. Ye Changsheng shook his head. Senior, you also know that the longevity flat peach is an extremely rare spiritual fruit. It is rare to see it even in some high-end auctions. The number of flat peaches I can provide is limited, and 10 is really too much. Ye Changsheng said calmly, trying to lower the other party's expectations. Liu he smiled slightly when he heard this, as if he had already expected Ye Changsheng to make a counteroffer. Fellow Daoist Ye, our Liu family has an extremely urgent need for this life-extending flat peach. Some elders in the family are about to expire, and this peach is of immeasurable value to them. If not, we would not have made such a request. Ye Changsheng nodded to express his understanding, and then continued, I understand the difficulties of the nobles. 3 flat peaches is the maximum I can provide. 3 fellow Taoists can't replace our second level skills, so let's take a step back and get 9 LIU. He shook his head and continued to bid point. Just like this, you and I went back and forth, and an hour passed. In the end, the two agreed to make a deal with 5 life-extending flat peaches. Senior, please look, these are the 5 peaches I got in total by this opportunity. They are really gone. Ye Changsheng smiled bitterly and took out another jade box from the storage bag, which contained 4 flat peaches, as if he was a little tired from bargaining with Ye Changsheng just now. Liu, he shook his head and put away the 2 jade boxes. Take out 3 jade slips, fellow Taoist. These are the 3 second level low grade non-attribute skills. You choose one. The first skill is called Jade Duki Condensation Technique. It is an exquisite non-attributed technique that focuses on unblocking the 8 extraordinary meridians and mobilizing the circulation of spiritual power in the 12 main meridians throughout the body by reconciling yin and yang. Various spiritual powers between heaven and earth are brought into the void field, and then the spiritual veins of the monks are penetrated, and the 24 acupoints are opened. The advantage of this technique is that it can move spiritual power quickly and has high cultivation efficiency. However, it requires high mental strength. Those who are not mentally strong will find it difficult to fully utilize the potential of the technique. The second exercise is called 5-element Cloud Rises Sutra. It is based on opening up the danshan and opening up the 36 main acupoints in the body so that spiritual power can flow freely among the meridians. It can absorb spiritual power of different attributes to strengthen the monk's spiritual veins and form a spiritual energy circulation array. The advantage of practicing this technique is that it is flexible and adaptable to a variety of aura environments. However, due to the need to practice steadily, the early improvement speed is slow. The third skill is called Frost Moon Spirit Gathering Skill. It pays attention to balancing yin and yang and circulating spiritual power. It makes the spiritual power flow evenly by opening up the danshan, penetrating the 8 extraordinary meridians and 36 acupoints throughout the body. It can form a unique yin and yang spiritual field, stabilize the efficiency of spiritual power operation, and flexibly adjust the operation strategy of spiritual veins. The advantage of practicing this technique is that it is both offensive and defensive, and can adapt to different cultivation environments. However, because it requires a high balance in the circulation of spiritual veins, you need to be cautious during the practice, otherwise spiritual power imbalance may occur. Ye Changsheng thought for a long time and chose a more upright and peaceful 5-element Cloud Sutra point. After all, the Ye family has a sufficient supply of spiritual energy, sufficient elixirs, and rare spiritual fruits from time to time, so there is no need to take risks in the technique point. Besides, the Zongsheng and peaceful exercises are easier for monks to break through to great realms. Therefore, the 5-element movement sutra is Ye Changsheng's best choice point. Ye Changsheng put away the jade slip containing the 5-element movement sutra and solemnly put it into his storage bag. He smiled and bowed to Liu. Thank you, senior, for your help. This technique is exactly what I need. The deal is concluded. I'm very grateful, Liu. He politely replied, you're welcome, fellow Taoist. If you have any other needs in the future, the Liu family welcomes you to come at any time. After Ye Changsheng solemnly said goodbye, he turned around and left the Liu family trading company, walked through the busy streets, and walked out of the gate of Fangshi Point. He boarded the spiritual boat returning to Ye's family and flew across the mountains like lightning point. After returning to Ye's house, Ye Changsheng went straight to his retreat point. He stood at the door, took a deep breath, and felt the peaceful atmosphere of the family point. Then he pushed open the door, walked into his own practice space, carefully took out the 5-element movement sutra, placed it on the table, and began to concentrate on studying this new practice point. After carefully studying the 5-element movement sutra, Ye Changsheng began to follow the movement routes and methods in it, carefully adjusted his breathing and spiritual power, and entered a state of focused practice point. After practicing for a few days, he had clearly felt the extraordinariness of this second level practice. First, the number of spiritual orifices in his body increased significantly, from the original 9 to 36, and the spiritual power could flow more smoothly. Every time he circulated his spiritual power for a week, he accumulated more than 50% more spiritual power than before, and the circulation of spiritual energy between the meridians and Danshan was more abundant. Ye Changsheng took a Gyeon pill and began to refine it according to the practice route of the 5-element movement sutra. A few days later, Ye Changsheng opened his eyes with a happy look on his face. It used to take 7 days to refine a Gyeon pill, but now it only takes less than 5 days, and the efficiency of cultivation has been significantly improved. More than half a month later, with the help of Gyeon pill, Ye Changsheng has completely replaced his cultivation method with the 5-element cloud rising sutra. Although his cultivation level has dropped to the early stage of the 5th level of key refining, his spiritual power has become more powerful, which is very beneficial in the future, and consolidates the foundation of cultivation. After the conversion of the method is completed, Ye Changsheng wants to test the results. Ye Changsheng stood in his own practice room, closed his eyes slightly, took a deep breath, and formed seals with his hands, and circulated the spiritual power in his body along the meridian route recorded in the 5-element Yunki Sutra. After a while, he opened his eyes, waved his right hand, and the fiery red spiritual power gushed out from his palm, turning into a lifelike fire dragon. Flexibly circling in the air, he carefully observed the shape of the fire dragon, and was surprised to find that the fire dragon was thicker and longer than before. The flame was more intense and hotter, and the power was obviously improved to a higher level. Ye Changsheng did not stop, and gathered his spiritual power again, releasing the fire dragon technique continuously. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 flaming fire dragons were hovering in the air, with the impact of blazing spiritual power, making the entire training room illuminated by the firelight. Ye Changsheng deeply felt the wonderfulness of the 5-element movement sutra. The spiritual power flowed smoothly, and the power and number of spells were significantly enhanced. He slowly withdrew his spiritual power, took the 4 fire dragons into his palm one by one, and nodded with satisfaction. With his current ability, he can control 4 fire dragons at the same time when fighting, forming an endless flame offensive. If the opponent's spiritual power is slightly weaker, it will be difficult to resist. Chapter 19 Contribution. Ye Changsheng calculated the time, and it was time for the first order fairy dew to be generated in the true dragon fairy tree space. Ye Changsheng thought, and appeared in the space of the true dragon immortal tree. Under the influence of mana, the drop of first order fairy dew was taken out. Another Shengsen pear seed was taken out, and a Shengsen pear tree was born for the second time. There is no way to trade 10 Shengsen pairs with the Liu family within a year, and it will take 12 years before the mature Shengsen pear tree bears fruit again. Ye Changsheng simply couldn't afford to wait. Immortal dew dripped on the Shengsen pear seeds, which soon sprouted, took root, and quickly grew into a pear sapling, then a small tree, blossomed, and finally grew into a spiritual tree with 36 Shengsen pear hanging on it. Ye Changsheng took out a jade box and put 10 Shengsen pears in it. The remaining 26 are kept in a separate jade box. After cleaning up, Ye Changsheng left the space and went straight to Ye Jiuhu's retreat. After sending out the communication paper charm, Ye Jiuhu came out after a while, looking good. Congratulations, Grandpa, your practice is getting better and better. Ye Changsheng congratulated with a smile. Haha, that's right. Ever since I ate the life-extending flat peach you gave me, I feel 20 years younger. Not only is my cultivation faster than before, but the time it takes to refine the elixirs is also faster than before. At this rate, I will be able to refine my key to perfection in just 1 year. Ye Jiuhu said happily. It's just that this technique is so bad that it slows down my practice speed. Otherwise, I would have perfected my key practice long ago. Ye Jiuhu was a little pity. Grandpa, you come here just as you say. Didn't I go out last time? I exchanged Panteo and the Daoting Liu family for a 2nd level skill. Can you control the palm? Ye Changsheng smiled. What? 2nd level skill? Ye Jiuhu was shocked. Yes, during the key refining period, you can open up the 36 major acupuncture points, and you can practice the 2nd level non-attribute technique 5-element cloud sutra until the foundation is completed. Ye Changsheng said affirmatively. Ye Jiuhu took the jade slip from Ye Changsheng's hand, placed it between his eyebrows, looked at it for a long time, and then put down the jade slip with excitement. Second level skill. This is the second level skill. This is the foundation of a foundation building family. My Ye family has a history of more than 100 years. All the patriarchs and elders of the past generations have wanted to use all the family property to exchange for a second level skill, but they have not been able to do so. I didn't expect this wish to come true with you, Changsheng. You are the great hero of our Ye family. Ye Jiuhu looked at Ye Changsheng and there were tears in his eyes. Grandpa, I mean to practice this technique with you first, and then pass it on to my mother and others. As for whether or not to hand it over to the clan, it depends on your wishes. Ye Changsheng said calmly. He has feelings for the family and can also bring some benefits to the family, but not now. Of course it has to be handed over to the clan. I'm still the elder of the family, so I still have to consider some things for the family. Ye Jiuhu said with a serious face. Well, I'll call the three of them to study and practice together now. After we finish converting the exercises, we will summarize some of our own cultivation problems and then submit them to the family. What do you think of Changsheng? Ye Jiuhu asked. Grandpa has done it safely, so just follow his instructions. Grandpa, this is my cultivation insight. Please see if it is appropriate. After Ye Changsheng finished speaking, he handed over the jade slip containing his insights from practicing the 5-element cloud sutra well. Okay, not bad. Ye Jiuhu stroked his beard and nodded with satisfaction. Grandpa, these are the 10 shenks and pairs that the Liu family requested to trade. Ye Changsheng handed the jade box containing 10 shenks and pairs to Ye Jiuhu. Yes, if it weren't for your chance this time, your uncle would have lost his favorite Taoist companion. Ye Jiuhu said approvingly. We are all a family, and my uncle's business is my business. Ye Changsheng said calmly. Ye Jiuhu was even more satisfied when he heard this. Ye Jiuhu asked Ye Changsheng again about the progress of his alchemy and some cultivation issues, and then asked Ye Changsheng to withdraw. As soon as Ye Changsheng returned to his small courtyard, he saw several sword lights flying into the courtyard where Ye Jiuhu was. He knew that Ye Jiuhu must have summoned the other 3 people to study new techniques. Ye Changsheng himself went into the alchemy room and continued to study the alchemy skills during this period of time. Ye Changsheng has maintained the rate of completion of each furnace of Naki pill at 80%, but the last 20% really couldn't be promoted. 3 days later, Ye Changsheng looked at the 8 key receiving pills in the pill furnace and felt a little discouraged. After struggling for another 3 days, 8 pills were obtained. Maybe it's a problem with the alchemy furnace. The alchemy furnace Ye Changsheng is using now is an old first order low grade alchemy furnace that was redeemed by his family. The formation patterns inside are somewhat worn. Ye Changsheng thought that he had to change to a better pill furnace. Since the success rate of the key refining pill is this, the next step is to refine the initial key refining pill, the body tempering pill. Ye Changsheng placed the recipe for the body tempering pill on the desk and studied it carefully. The elixir recipe and steps required for refining are clearly listed on the elixir recipe. The body tempering pill is an important pill in the early stage of key refining. It can improve the physique and spiritual power of monks and is highly sought after in the world of immortality. According to the requirements of the pill recipe, Ye Changsheng took out several spiritual herbs from the storage bag, including gualening grass, blood yuan flower, condensed dew fruit and body refining ganoderma, and placed them neatly next to the pill furnace. First, he cleaned the pill furnace and lit the spiritual fire under the furnace, so that the temperature in the furnace gradually increased to a level suitable for refining the gualening pill. The spiritual fire was jumping under the furnace, illuminating the entire alchemy room brightly and transparently. When the pill furnace reached the appropriate temperature, Ye Changsheng followed the instructions of the pill recipe and put several spiritual herbs into the pill furnace one by one. Gualening grass is the main medicine, which can strengthen the physique of the cultivator. Blood yuan flower is rich in spiritual power and can add spiritual energy to the pill. Condensed dew fruit can balance the cold and hot properties of the medicine. and prevent the pill from being too warm and dry. Body refining Gynoderma has the effect of strengthening muscles and bones, making the effect of the pill more comprehensive. After putting the spiritual herbs into the pill furnace, Ye Changsheng quickly operated his spiritual power, wrapped each spiritual herb with fine spiritual energy, and slowly integrated the essence of the medicinal materials into the medicine liquid in the pill furnace. At this time, he made hand gestures and silently recited the formula, guiding the spiritual fire in the furnace to gently calcine the spiritual medicine, so that the liquid medicine gradually condensed into pills as time went by. The fragrance of the medicine in the refining process filled the entire alchemy room. The control of the spiritual fire is crucial. If the fire is too strong, the medicinal properties are easily destroyed. If the fire is not enough, the essence of the spiritual medicine is difficult to extract. Ye Changsheng kept the spiritual fire stable, allowing the liquid medicine in the furnace to roll slowly, gradually forming the prototype of the condensed pill. After several hours, the liquid medicine in the furnace had become viscous and gradually condensed into small pills. Ye Changsheng unsealed the furnace and deftly took the body quenching pills in the furnace into his hands. 2 pills were made, each of which was round and translucent, with a faint spiritual light on the surface. After careful inspection, he found that the quality of these body quenching pills was quite good, with a strong fragrance and full medicinal properties. Ye Changsheng nodded with satisfaction, and carefully put the body tempering pills into a jade bottle, and sealed it. Time flies, and while Ye Changsheng was immersed in the alchemy room, practicing his alchemy skills, a month had passed. Chapter 20 Contribution Points. Ye Jiuhu and 4 others finally studied the 5-element cloud sutra roughly, and all 4 of them completed the conversion of the exercises. Father, this is my cultivation insight. Please also attach it to the technique. CUI. Linglang said lightly, okay, although the second level technique is brand new, with the 5 people in our family practicing it, it should be easy for other people in the family to get started. Ye Jiuhu said happily, then I won't disturb your respective cultivation. I will go to the clan leader to hand over the techniques. Ye Jiuhu said. Ye Jiuhu used his skills to control the flying sword and soon arrived at the patriarch's hall at the highest point of the main peak. Jiuhu, how have you been practicing recently? The last injury didn't leave any obstacles to your cultivation, right? The clan leader, Ye Jialong, was dressed in white and had a stern expression. He was very happy to see Ye Jiuhu. Clan leader, I had another chance and my injuries have completely healed, and my cultivation has gone further, reaching the 8th level of key refining. After speaking, Ye Jiuhu released the momentum of the 8th level of key refining. In fact, Ye Jiuhu had already reached the 9th level of key refining, but crossing 2 levels in a row in 1 or 2 months was a bit shocking and would arouse suspicion, so he hid it. Jiuhu, okay, I didn't expect you to be a blessing in disguise, and now you're even better than me. Ye Jialong is also at the 7th level of key refining. The later the key refining stage, the harder it is to break through. Previously, the 9 elders of the Ye family, including the patriarch Ye Jialong, were all at the 7th level of key refining. Now Ye Jiuhu goes one step further. Clan leader, I came here today to dedicate a technique to the family. Please take a look. Ye Jiuhu solemnly took out the jade slip containing the 5-element Gyu and Gong. Oh, come and do it yourself. It seems like this technique is pretty good. After Ye Jialong said that, he picked up the jade slip and put it between his eyebrows. The 5-element cloud key sutra. Ye Jialong was surprised, and a moment later he saw that the content had reached the foundation building level. 2nd level skill. A complete 2nd level skill without attributes. Ye Jialong opened his mouth wide, shocked beyond measure. Yes, it is a 2nd level skill without attributes, a 2nd level foundation building skill that can be practiced to the perfection of foundation building. Ye Jiuhu said seriously, after I recovered, I took advantage of a big opportunity to exchange it with the Liu family of the Daozing family. I have been studying the exercises recently, and I took Changsheng and the others to understand them together. Now that everyone has successfully converted to the exercises, I present this exercise together with the 5 people's cultivation experiences. Ye Jiuhu said calmly. Jiuhu, you have made great achievements. You have actually replaced the second level technique that our clan has been obsessed with for more than 100 years. Ye Zhenlong was both excited and emotional. He held the jade slip tightly and walked around the room. Suddenly, he stopped and sent a letter directly. Jiuhu, this matter is too big. I have to invite the Supreme Elder to come over and discuss it. Ye Zhenlong said, that's really how it should be. Ye Jiuhu said. After a while, Ye Dongren arrived in a hurry. Second level skill? Where is it? He asked anxiously. The Supreme Elder, the jade slip of the martial art is here. Ye Zhenlong quickly handed it over. After watching it for a while, Ye Dongren still couldn't restrain his excitement. The second level skill. It turns out to be the second level skill. Jiuhu, this time you have made the greatest contribution since the founding of our clan. Ye Dongren said excitedly. There are 5 more cultivation insights later. Have all of your family practiced it? Ye Dongren asked. Yes, Supreme Elder. Our family Xianayu, Xianayin, Cui Linglong and Changsheng have all practiced. Ye Jiuhu said calmly. It doesn't matter, although after this technique is handed over to the family, only the clan leader, elders, and direct descendants can practice it. But you are the one who handed in the exercises, so you can make this exception. Ye Dongren said. Yes, I think so too. Ye Zhenlong also said quickly. But in order to commend Jiuhu for your great achievements, your descendants can also practice without family contribution points. Thank you, Supreme Elder. Ye Jiuhu responded lightly, but he really didn't take this matter to heart. After all, he had a rough guess about Ye Changsheng's chances. He would no longer be moved by trivial matters. By the way, Supreme Elder, how much should Jiuhu pay for his contribution this time? Ye Zhenlong asked. Ye Dongren thought for a moment and suggested, in my opinion, such merit should be adequately rewarded. How about 100,000 contribution points? Ye Zhenlong nodded. If there is a foundation establishment pill, it can be exchanged for 10,000 contribution points, but the second level non-attribute skills are too important to the family, so 100,000 contribution points are also appropriate. When Ye Jiuhu heard this number, he couldn't help but be slightly startled. He knew that this was an extremely high reward. Then he raised his hands to express his gratitude. Thank you very much, the patriarch and the Supreme Elder, for your love. I feel ashamed of it. This is what you deserve. Ye Zhenlong said with a smile. After that, Ye Jiuhu's identity jade token was about to come, and an additional 100,000 contribution points were issued to put it in. Then the 3 of them sat on the floor and studied the contents of the 5-element cloud sutra. When Ye Changsheng arrived here for a month, he entered the space of the true dragon Immortal Tree again. This time he wanted to promote the birth of the sun spirit sunflower. Ye Changsheng took out a drop of first level fairy dew from the stone platform and carefully dripped it on the seeds of the sun spirit sunflower. As the spirit liquid penetrated, a faint golden light flashed on the surface of the seed, and soon a crack appeared. The tender bud broke out of the shell and quickly grew into a green seedling, with its roots digging into the fertile spiritual soil. Under the nourishment of the fairy dew, and surrounded by rich spiritual energy, the stem of the sun spirit sunflower quickly thickened, and the golden flowers gradually bloomed, dazzling like a small sun, emitting bursts of fire attributed spiritual energy. It soon grew into a tall and upright plant, and the golden petals emitted scorching energy, as dazzling as the sun. A mature sun spirit sunflower will produce 700 or 800 seeds. These seeds are rich in fire type spiritual power, especially suitable for fire attributed monsters to take, and are also a relatively rare spiritual medicine. Ye Changsheng put the sun spirit sunflower into a special jade box, intending to exchange the required resources with others later. Ye Changsheng is not short of spirit stones now, and he does not plan to continue selling the spirit medicine he has induced. Every cultivator has some good things in the bottom of the box, which can be used to exchange for the resources he wants at the exchange meeting. Now Ye Changsheng has 11 longevity peaches, 26 immortal pears, and 700 or 800 solar spirit sunflower seeds. These are rare items in the key refining stage. enough to exchange for some good things. But now Ye Changsheng thinks that the most important thing is the foundation building of his grandfather Ye Jiuhu point. Although Ye Jiuhu's body has been nourished by the longevity peaches, it can already build a foundation point, but after all, he is over 60 years old and has missed the best foundation building age. He is still lacking in true essence, consciousness, and physical body point. If he builds his foundation through foundation building pills, Ye Changsheng estimates that he will need at least 2 top grade foundation building pills. However, for more than 100 years, the Ye family has no shortage of masters of the 9th level of key refining in every generation, but this never obtained a foundation building pill, which shows how precious the 2nd grade top grade foundation building pill is to the key refining family. Chapter 21 Foundation Building Fruit. And even if Ye Jiuhu can build the foundation with the foundation building pill he obtained through the auction this time, what about his other relatives? Needless to say, such a large scale auction and foundation building are very eye-catching, and this is not a long-term solution. What's more, a family's foundation building methods have always been controlled by big forces, so it will definitely be difficult for them to become powerful. So you must find a secret method that you can control. After Ye Changsheng checked the information in the family library for several days, he discovered that such a method existed. That is the foundation building fruit. According to the data, the foundation building fruit is the best spiritual object for monks to build their foundation. However, the growth conditions of the foundation building fruit are too difficult, which leads to the emergence of the foundation building pill. The foundation establishment pill is just a pill that imitates the medicinal power of the foundation establishment fruit, and the top grade foundation establishment pill only has 30% of the medicinal power of the foundation establishment fruit. Ye Changsheng was overjoyed when he saw this information, but he continued to search for information in this area, but found very little. The Ye family is just a small family that has never produced a foundation building monk in the more than 100 years since its establishment. It is normal that I have never heard of him. Ye Changsheng immediately drove the flying boat from Ye's home to Yunhaifang City. Yunhaifang City is a 3rd level market opened by the Liu family, who is the powerful leader of the Taoist realm. The various businesses in this market are not only large and comprehensive, but also have a certain reputation guarantee. Moreover, there are organizations like Xianji Pavilion in Yunhaifang City, but not in Zhuanwufang City. Ye Changsheng entered the largest immortal cultivation library in Yunhaifang City. The cultivation museum is divided into 4 areas: heaven, earth, Zhuanhuang. The price for browsing in each area is different. In the yellow level information area, there is 1 spiritual stone per day. There are 3 spiritual stones in the Zuan level data area every day. There are 6 spirit stones in the prefecture level data area every day. 12 spiritual stones per day in the heaven level data area. Ye Changsheng specifically searched for information about foundation building, starting from the yellow level information area. He spent a total of 10 days and hundreds of spirit stones. Finally, some clues were discovered. Hundreds of years ago, a disciple of the Linxio sect, a great sect of immortality, leaked a few words about the foundation building fruit. The information is interrupted here, and there is no other useful information. The Linxio sect is a large sect with Yashu realm experts in charge. This sect is so tight-lipped, which shows how precious the foundation fruit is. The Immortal Cultivation Information Center is actually considered public information. If you want to get more secret information, you can also go to Xianji Pavilion. Xianji Pavilion, as its name suggests, is an organization that sells news and information. The news from Xianji Pavilion was unpredictable, not to mention such sensitive information as the foundation establishment fruit. Ye Changsheng did not dare to come to the door so directly. Ye Changsheng opened a training room in a nearby inn. Using the leaves of the variety wood, he transformed into the image of an elegant middle-aged man, and his cultivation level has reached the 9th level of key refining. As Ye Changsheng stepped into Xianji Pavilion, a shopkeeper came to greet him. The shopkeeper of Xianji Pavilion is a middle-aged man wearing a navy blue robe and a jade belt around his waist. He has piercing eyes and a peaceful face, revealing an aura of profound experience. Fellow Taoist, what information do you want to buy when you come to Xianji Pavilion? The shopkeeper's voice was warm and slightly hoarse. Ye Changsheng saluted and said, I heard that your pavilion is well informed and came to explore for clues about the foundation fruit. The shopkeeper's eyes flickered slightly, but he wasn't too surprised. Fellow Taoist's request is extraordinary. Please come with me, the shopkeeper said. The shopkeeper led Ye Changsheng into an exquisite living room in the pavilion. The room was elegantly decorated and surrounded by a faint scent of sandalwood, which made people calm down. After sitting down, the shopkeeper poured tea for Ye Changsheng and said, the clues to the foundation fruit are almost extinct, but this is not a problem for our SYNOPSIS pavilion. But at this price, I have long heard that the golden sign of SYNOPSIS pavilion has always been that you get what you pay for. Please feel free to bid. Ye Changsheng responded, haha, fellow Taoist, don't worry, the news from SYNOPSIS pavilion must be worth the money. News about the foundation establishment fruit, 1000 spirit stones. The shopkeeper replied, 1,000 spirit stones. He had long heard that there was a lot of news about SYNOPSIS pavilion. Ye Changsheng was slightly stunned when he heard this. Fellow Taoist, I'm not trying to frame you. This news was at the level of 3000 spiritual stones more than 10 years ago. However, in recent years, fewer and fewer monks have asked about the foundation fruit, so this news has only dropped to 1000 spiritual stone. The shopkeeper said, okay, I'll buy it. Ye Changsheng took out 1000 spirit stones from the storage bag. The shopkeeper his eye and put away the spirit stones, went out for a while, and soon brought a jade slip. Ye Changsheng read the information on the spot. It turns out that 230 years ago, disciples of the Linxio sect dug up the foundation fruit tree in the Yunke secret realm. This is consistent with the information Ye Changsheng obtained about the disciples of the Linxio sect who had previously leaked the foundation building fruit tree. Seeing this, Ye Changsheng thought again and again, and felt that he could only go to Yunke secret realm once. Regarding the Yunke secret realm, it is said that it was a secret space opened by a powerful monk in ancient times. Later, after thousands of years of wind and rain, it became a treasure place that monks rushed to explore. There used to be many elixirs, rare spiritual fruits, rare ores, as well as powerful monsters and mysterious ruins in the secret territory. The secret realm is jointly managed by several major forces, including Linxio sect, Wufu Chamber of Commerce, etc., and is opened every 20 years. Only monks with trial qualifications can enter. Qualifications to enter the secret realm are usually obtained through auctions, Chamber of Commerce transactions, or sect allocation, etc. The cost is expensive and the number of places is limited. The number of people in each trial is limited, usually 500, and they must have a certain level of cultivation. The monks can only stay in the secret realm for 7 days, after which they will be teleported out of the secret realm. Only key refining monks can enter. It is considered a secret realm of key refining. Moreover, after a monk leaves the secret realm, his harvest will be inspected, and half of the harvest will belong to the forces behind the monk. In this case, any items related to the foundation fruit tree will be confiscated. It seems that I have to go there myself, because the space of the true dragon Immortal Tree is enough to hide any spiritual objects that I don't want to hand over. Ye Changsheng put down the jade slip with a solemn expression. Oh, Yunke secret realm, excuse me, shopkeeper, do you have map of the Yunke secret realm? Ye Changsheng asked. Of course there is, but the levels of the maps are different and the prices are also different. The third class map of the Yunke secret realm only shows the general picture, the general specialty areas and dangerous areas in various parts of the secret realm. It is the most common type of map among all the forces. The price of the third class map is 400 spirit stones. The second class map of Yunke secret realm not only marks the entire secret realm, but also the specialties of various places in the secret realm. It also includes more than 100 kinds of elixirs, minerals, monsters and other resource areas. The price of the second class map is 1500 spirit stones. The first class map of the Yunke secret realm not only marks the entire map, but also has more than 500 resource addresses. It also includes the addresses of 3 immortal cultivation ruins. First class map 4,000 spirit stones. By the way, the foundation building fruit tree that fellow Taoist asked about before was spread from the ruins of cultivating immortals. The shopkeeper said point. Even though Ye Changsheng was not short of spiritual stones, seeing Xianji Pavilion's way of making money, Ye Changsheng also felt like he was being doomed, and he took a deep breath. I'll buy a first-class map, Ye Changsheng said calmly, and then took out 4,000 spirit stones and gave them to the other party. Point after the shopkeeper confirmed the number of spirit stones, he took out a jade slip marked with the map of Yunke's secret realm, pointed to one of the areas and said, the ruins of cultivating immortals here are where the Linkseo sect's trialists once found the foundation fruit tree. I hope this map can help fellow Taoists. Ye Changsheng looked at the map carefully and had a clear view of all the treasures and hidden elixir spots. He felt that there was nothing wrong with the map. Thank you, shopkeeper, for reminding me, Ye Changsheng said. Point the shopkeeper reminded, you're welcome, but Taoist friend Yunke's secret realm is difficult and dangerous. You must be careful and don't trust others. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Procurement. After coming out of Xianji Pavilion, Ye Changsheng returned to the Ye family. Point found Grandpa Ye Jiuhu. You came just in time, Changsheng. I went to the Liu family a few days ago and traded the 10 shenks and pairs to them. These are the 10,000 spiritual stones. After saying that, he handed Ye Changsheng a storage bag. Grandpa, your grandson still has a lot of spiritual stones here. You can take these spiritual stones first and use them as your grandson's filial piety to you. Okay, old man, I'll take it. If you want to use it, just come and get it from me, Ye Jiuhu said happily. I know, Grandpa. Grandpa, did the Liu family say when our family can marry Liu Kana? Ye Changsheng asked. The clan leader said that it can be done at any time. That father and son who are alchemists even went to the Liu family to cause trouble, but they were injured by the ancestor of the Liu family who came out of seclusion. Now, there is no suspense about your uncle and Liu Kana's marriage, so don't worry, Ye Jiuhu was in a good mood. Point Ye Changsheng nodded. Ye Xianyu's matter was finally settled. Point what we have to deal with now is the matter of Grandpa Ye Jiuhu's foundation building. Point Ye Changsheng explained his analysis one by one. Point Ye Jiuhu said solemnly, yes, you have a great opportunity to give birth to a son, and it is my Ye family's turn to take off. Therefore, we cannot rely on these big forces to control our foundation building channels. It is imperative to find foundation building results. I also know about the Yunke secret realm, and 40 years ago, 2 elders of my Ye family who were at the 9th level of key refining bought the trial qualification at a high price and entered it. As a result, there were no bones and no news. They must have died. The Yunke secret realm is extremely dangerous. For monks from a small family like us, it is almost a narrow escape. Grandpa, my plan is for the 2 of us to go in. One is that my chance can ensure that we get the foundation fruit tree or other precious resources to hide. Secondly, you are the only one who knows my opportunity best for the time being, and you cannot tell other elders in the clan yet. So, before entering the Yunke secret realm this time, we must equip ourselves with all kinds of equipment that are enough to save our lives at all costs. I have also checked a lot of information about Yunke secret realm recently. I believe we are 80% sure of surviving. Grandpa, by the way, this is the first class map of Yunke secret realm that I bought from Xianji Pavilion. After Ye Changsheng finished speaking, he handed the jade slip of the map to Ye Jiuhu. Point Ye Jiuhu nodded after reading it. What you said is right and you have thought it through very carefully. This is the only way this time. Okay, Grandpa, then I will buy the secret realm qualifications first, and then buy some equipment. Ye Changsheng said. Okay, be careful, Ye Jiuhu said with concern. Don't worry, Grandpa, I will use a leaf of the variety wood every time. Even the ancestor of Ye Changsheng can't see through me, and the leaf can't remember my scent and information. Ye Changsheng said goodbye and left. Ye Changsheng returned to his small courtyard, entered his room, and meditated for a while. Next, he took out a leaf of the variety wood and transformed into a white-faced and arrogant young man. Ye Changsheng put on another gorgeous suit and took out a jade fan from his storage bag. Anyone could tell at a glance that he was a second-generation man with an extraordinary background. After leaving the Ye family, Ye Changsheng flew the flying boat in the opposite direction of Yunhaifang City. After flying about 1,500 miles, I pressed the airship and entered Fenglifang City, a third-level city that was not inferior to Yunhaifang City. This is the city run by Fengli Pavilion, a great sect of cultivating immortals, and it also has a good reputation. Of course, there are 3 Fengli Pavilion Taoist ancestors, and their reputation is just as powerful as that of the Liu family. Ye Changsheng walked straight into Fengli Trading Company. After entering the trading house, Ye Changsheng first went to the puppet area. The waiter came up to Ye Changsheng with a big smile and said, "Hello, fellow Taoist, what kind of puppet do you want?" Ye Changsheng glanced at the puppet area and said calmly, "I need puppets in the middle and late stages of key refining. What do you recommend here?" The guy nodded and smiled. "Young Taoist found it at the right time. We happen to have some high quality supplies in the puppet area recently. Please come with me." He guided Ye Changsheng to a spacious booth, pointed at a silver puppet, and began to introduce. "This is a silver armored guard, an offensive puppet in the middle stage of key refining, with excellent anti-strike capabilities. Made of thousands of years of cold iron and thunder gold sand, with the armor breaking formation engraved on it. It can burst out with a strong impact in an instant, and its attack power is extraordinary." Then, he pointed to a puppet next to him that was glowing with lavender light. "This puppet is called Purple Thunder Puppet. It is a puppet in the late stage of key refining, and is good at long-range attacks. Its body is made of purple thunder crystal and century-old electric iron. It is made with a thunder array engraved on it, which can send out long-range attacks like lightning and thunder, quickly striking the enemy." Ye Changsheng looked at the 2 puppets and asked, "What are the prices of these 2 puppets?" The clerk smiled slightly and replied, "The silver armor guard has 320 spirit stones, and the purple thunder puppet has 450 spirit stones. If fellow Taoist purchase both together, we can also provide you with a discount." Ye Changsheng pondered for a moment and decided on his choice. "I want 2 of each type of puppet. What is the package price?" The clerk said decisively, "The package price of 2 puppets is 1,450 spiritual stones." Ye Changsheng nodded and said to the clerk, "Fellow Taoist, in addition to the silver armor guard and the purple thunder puppet, I also need 10 exploration puppets in the early stage of key refining." The man smiled after hearing this. "Your vision is really unique. We just happen to have a sufficient number of detection puppets. These puppets are small in size, good at detecting the enemy, extremely sensitive, equipped with spirit eye formation and wind formation, which can quickly capture the enemy's movements, and can be called detection weapons." He guided Ye Changsheng to a shelf, on which more than a dozen detection puppets with different appearances were neatly placed. The man explained, "These detection puppets are all at the initial stage of key refining, and the price ranges from 80 to 200 spirit stones. You can choose at will." Ye Changsheng observed carefully and finally selected 10 detection puppets, including Wind Fox, Spirit Eye Bird, Detective Wind Mouse, and other varieties with different functions. He asked, "How much are these exploration puppets, silver armor guards and purple thunder puppets?" The clerk quickly calculated and replied, "2 silver armor guards and 2 purple thunder puppets. The total price is 1,450 spirit stones. The total price of these 10 exploration puppets is 1,500 spirit stones, and the package price is 2,950 spirit stones." Ye Changsheng nodded with satisfaction, handed the spirit stones to the clerk, and accepted all the puppets. Ye Changsheng collected the puppets and left the puppet area, ready to continue shopping for other items. After buying so many puppets, Ye Changsheng felt that his spiritual sense needed to be strengthened, so he came to the pill area. Chapter 23 Procurement, 2nd. Ye Changsheng walked into the elixir area and was greeted warmly by a waiter with a professional smile on his face. "Hello fellow Taoist, what elixir do you need?" Ye Changsheng smiled faintly and explained his needs. "I want to enhance my spiritual consciousness, restore my true energy, and explode elixirs. What do you recommend?" The clerk thought for a moment and then said, "We have several elixirs that are very suitable for you. The elixir that enhances spiritual consciousness is Purple Cloud Pill, which is a first-class high-grade elixir made from purple cloud flower as the main medicine. Medicine can significantly increase the strength of spiritual consciousness. Elixirs for restoring true energy include the Returning Pill, which can restore true energy in a short time, and is very useful for continuous fighting and long-term practice. As for explosive elixirs, I recommend the Fire Pill, which can allow the user to burst out with extraordinary combat power in a short period of time. However, one needs to be careful that the Fire Pill will bring certain side effects and should be used with caution." Ye Changsheng nodded and asked about the price. "What are the prices of these pills?" The guy smiled and replied, "Purple Cloud Pills are in a bottle of 10 pills, and the price is 80 spiritual stones. Huan pills are 5 pills in a bottle, and the price is 50 spirit stones. Fiery pills are 3 pills in a bottle, and the price is 120 spirit stones." Ye Changsheng thought for a moment and finally said, "Give me 2 bottles of each pill." The waiter happily responded, "Okay, fellow Taoist, please wait a moment. I will prepare it for you right away." After a while, Ye Changsheng took away the elixirs, and after confirming that they were correct, he put them into his storage bag. After Ye Changsheng walked out of the elixir area, he came to the fuel area. The counter here is filled with all kinds of talismans, with a wide variety and a dazzling array. The formation light patterns of the talismans flowed faintly, showing the spiritual power they contain. There was a waiter in a green robe standing behind the counter. When he saw Ye Changsheng approaching, he smiled and asked respectfully, "Fellow Taoist, what type of talismans do you need? We have all kinds of attack, defense, control, and auxiliary talismans here. The quality is guaranteed, and the price is reasonable." Ye Changsheng looked around, pointed at several golden talismans and asked, "What kind of talismans are these?" The clerk took a look and said, "This is a first-level high-grade golden light talisman. It is a golden protective talisman drawn by a high-level talisman master. Once activated, it can form a golden light shield around the body to block attacks of the same level. If you need a defensive talisman, I recommend you try it." Ye Changsheng nodded and pointed to a few talismans on the other side. "Where are these?" "This is the Fire Talisman, which is also a first-level high-grade talisman. It is a fire attack talisman. Once activated, it can release a blazing fire dragon to attack the target. It is extremely powerful." Ye Changsheng pondered thoughtfully for a moment and then said, "I want 20 golden light talismans and 20 flame talismans each. In addition, are there any talismans that can trap the enemy?" The clerk smiled slightly and pointed to another row of talismans. "This is the Quagmire Talisman, a first-class high-grade talisman. Once activated, it can make the target fall into the quagmire, making it difficult to escape. There is also a Binding Talisman, which can make the target entangled in vines. It is also a first-class high-grade talisman." Ye Changsheng looked at it and thought it was very suitable for use in the secret realm, so he said, 10 Quagmire Talismans and 10 Binding Talismans each. In addition, give me 20 Key Gathering Talismans that can quickly restore the true energy in battle." The clerk skillfully removed the required talismans, put them into an exquisite wooden box, and handed them to Ye Changsheng. "Fellow Taoist, these talismans have been prepared for you, a total of 3,300 spiritual stones." Ye Changsheng paid the spirit stone readily, picked up the talisman, and put it into the storage bag. After Ye Changsheng finished selecting in the talisman area, he walked towards the formation area. Various formation discs and formation flags are displayed in the formation area. Some formations are also condensed into miniature models using spiritual power to demonstrate their power and effects. The waiter here was a middle-aged man with a kind-hearted face. When he saw Ye Changsheng approaching, he went up to greet him and asked with a smile, "Fellow Taoist, which formation are you interested in? We have various defense, attack, and auxiliary formations here." Ye Changsheng looked around, looked at the demonstration model of the formation, and asked, I need some formations suitable for exploring the secret realm, mainly for defense and enemy trapping. After hearing this, the middle-aged clerk led Ye Changsheng to a counter, pointed to several exquisite formation plates and formation flags and said, fellow Taoist, please look, this is the Guiyuan formation, a first level high grade formation. It can be used to lay out defensive barriers to resist external attacks. This is the Golden Bell formation, which is also a first level high grade formation. It can form a powerful golden light shield and can withstand higher level attacks. There is also this trapped beast formation, a first level low grade formation that can use special spiritual energy fluctuations to disrupt the opponent's mind and temporarily trap the enemy. Ye Changsheng picked up the formation disc and looked at it carefully and asked, how powerful are these formations? The clerk explained seriously, the Guiyuan formation and Golden Bell formation are suitable to be placed at the center of the formation, which can ensure smooth flow of surrounding spiritual energy and make it stable and lasting. Although the trapped beast formation is only a first level low grade weapon, it can disturb the opponent's mind and will be an unexpected help at critical moments. Ye Changsheng nodded, then give me 2 sets of each. Also, any other recommendations? The middle-aged man pointed to a set of formation flags and said, this is the tracking formation, a first level mid-level formation that can track the enemy's position within a certain range and leave a mark to facilitate finding the target in the secret realm. Ye Changsheng felt that this formation was indeed practical, so he said, then give me 2 sets. How many spiritual stones are there in total? The waiter did a quick calculation. These arrays add up to a total of 6,500 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng quickly paid the spirit stones, took the array plate and array flag, and left the array area with satisfaction. After he was ready, Ye Changsheng walked to the stairs on the 2nd floor, but was stopped by 2 guards who stood in front of him. One of the slightly majestic guards said, Daoyao, upstairs is the place where Daoyao who have built their foundation can buy 2nd level items. Your cultivation is not enough. If you want to enter, please prove that you have the financial resources of 10,000 spirit stones. Ye Changsheng calmly opened the storage bag and let the guard check it. The guard nodded after the inspection. Daoyao, please go upstairs. That was a close call. Ye Changsheng said in his heart. After buying and buying, he only had 10,000 spirit stones left in his storage bag, just passing the test point. After going up to the 2nd floor, Ye Changsheng was received by an extraordinary shopkeeper. The shopkeeper said enthusiastically, Daoyao, welcome to the 2nd floor. What supplies do you need? Ye Changsheng, I want to buy the 2nd level Cheyenne Lizi. The shopkeeper shook his head apologetically. Daoyao, I'm very sorry, we don't have any stock on the 2nd floor at the moment. Ye Changsheng smiled slightly, flipped his palm, took out a longevity peach that was dim, but clearly exuded the breath of life, and gently placed it on the table. The shopkeeper saw this, a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes, and hurriedly said, is this a longevity peach? Chapter 24 Procurement. 3rd. Fellow Daoist, do you want to exchange it with us for the Heavenly Thunder Seed? Yes. I wonder if the shopkeeper still has Heavenly Thunder Seed. Ye Changsheng said lightly, of course I do. I wonder how the Daoist wants to exchange it. The shopkeeper said, although the peach of longevity is only a first grade high quality spiritual fruit, it can extend life by 9 years. The market value is about 3,000 spiritual stones, but it is rarely sold, so the price must be higher. The market price of a 2nd grade low quality magic weapon is generally around 1,500 spiritual stones, and although the Heavenly Thunder Seed is a 2nd grade low quality, the price must not exceed 1,500 spiritual stones. So, the exchange I can accept is 1 peach for 3 Heavenly Thunder Seeds. Ye Changsheng said. The shopkeeper smiled bitterly. Daoyao is a good planner. 1 peach for Cheyenne Lizi will make you suffer a little loss, but it is not to the extent that you need to use 1,500 spirit stones to make up for it. The Two people fought back and forth for a long time, and finally decided on the final exchange. 2 peaches for 5 Cheyenne Lazy. Ye Changsheng finally took out 6 peaches, and exchanged for 15 Cheyenne Lazy as he wished. Wow. What else do you want to buy? As long as I have it on the second floor, I will definitely exchange it with you, the shopkeeper said happily. Then, do you have a defensive magic weapon that can resist Cheyenne Lazy and can be used in the key refining stage? Ye Changsheng asked. This, the shopkeeper was a little embarrassed. Shopkeeper, I still have a lot of good stuff on me. Aren't you tempted? Okay, we do have what you said, but few people have heard of it. That's the Black Tortoise Treasure Umbrella, a second level mid-grade defensive magic weapon, but it doesn't use spiritual power to drive it. Just press the switch, the umbrella opens, and the umbrella can resist the second level mid-grade magic attack. Wow. You also know that we don't sell this kind of treasure easily, and usually only sell it to the cultivators in the sect, the shopkeeper said. Ye Changsheng took out another spiritual pair that exuded a strong spiritual fluctuation. Wow. Do you recognize this thing? Ye Changsheng asked. Ascension pair. The shopkeeper was a little surprised. Yes, it is the ascension pair that allows cultivators to upgrade their cultivation level by 1 level without any trouble in the key refining period. Ye Changsheng said, but although the ascension pair is precious, it is far inferior to the longevity peach. The shopkeeper was a little regretful. I still have 5 longevity peaches and 15 immortality pairs. I will trade them all to you at once. These rare spiritual fruits are of great value, whether you give them to your own descendants or to others. Ye Changsheng advised. The shopkeeper gritted his teeth and said, well, let's exchange them. Okay, I want 2 of these Zuanwu treasure umbrellas. I want 2 pairs of spiritual talismans that are tied together by 1,000 miles. I want a pair of concentric jades, 2 jade talismans that represent the entry quota to the Yunke secret realm. Just give me 3,000 spiritual stones for the remaining value. Ye Changsheng asked for the price. The shopkeeper shook his head. Wow. You are really calculating. This 1,000 miles thread is a second level spiritual talisman. Although the heart-to-heart jade is a first level magic weapon, its rarity is close to the second level. The 2 quotas in Yunke secret realm have been hyped up to sky-high prices among casual cultivators, and you even said that I made a fortune, but I can't ask you for the spiritual stones. After another round of arguments, they finally reached an agreement. In addition to the above materials, the shopkeeper gave Ye Changsheng another 2,000 spiritual stones. At this point, the 2 sides exchanged materials. I hope that day I will meet my Fenglui Pavilion cultivators in Yunke secret realm and show mercy. The shopkeeper bowed. Wow are polite. I'm a casual cultivator and have no one to rely on, so I have to make a large purchase. How dare I compete with you disciples of big sects after entering Yunke secret realm? Ye Changsheng said jokingly. Alas, I hope my sect disciples will not meet you. The shopkeeper looked worried. The 2 said goodbye, and Ye Changsheng's purchase was finally completed. After Ye Changsheng left Fenglui Trading Company, he found an interstate. He wrote a letter to his grandfather Ye Jiuhu, a jade slip encrypted with the unique method of the Ye family. He spent 10 spirit stones to hire Feeks and Pavilion, a postal company in the market, and asked them to use Kyanli to deliver the jade slip to the Ye family. Kyanli is known to travel 1,000 miles a day, and 3 days later Ye Jiuhu rushed over in a dusty manner. Grandpa, this is the spiritual talisman and concentric jade of Kyanli Yixin. You need to sacrifice it as soon as possible. In addition, this is the ordinary talisman I bought. 10 pieces of protective golden light talismans. 10 pieces of offensive flame talismans. 10 pieces of binding talismans and mud talismans to bind opponents. 10 pieces of gathering talismans that can quickly restore spiritual power. These are all first level superior spiritual talismans. Ye Changsheng said as he took out 5 stacks of spiritual light talismans and handed them to Ye Jiuhu. Okay, with these talismans, we have a 30% chance of success in this secret realm trip. Ye Jiuhu took the talismans and said with a smile, "Grandpa, how can a 30% chance of success be enough? I only pursue a 100% chance of success. Look, there are also puppets." After Ye Changsheng finished speaking, he released a huge attack puppet in the room. "Grandpa, this is called the Purple Thunder Puppet. It can attack from a distance as well as from a close range. It is at the late stage of key refining, and it exactly matches your level." These 5 are pathfinding puppets. These pathfinding puppets are specially used to detect dangers in unknown areas. They are equipped with the ability of stealth and rapid evasion, and can return information in the most dangerous situations. Ye Changsheng explained, while controlling several small puppets to move quickly around the room, showing off their dexterity. Jiuhu nodded and said appreciatively, "These little guys have solved the safety issue that I was most worried about when exploring the road. Sufficient spiritual consciousness is required to control a puppet. I bought enough Xiao and Dan to enhance my spiritual consciousness before the secret realm is opened, and then sacrifice to the puppet. There is also the Huan pill that instantly restores spiritual power, and the fire pill that instantly doubles the combat power." After Ye Changsheng finished speaking, he took out 3 bottles of elixirs. "Okay, you've thought very carefully about having a baby." Ye Jiuhu nodded. "There are also formations, the defensive solid element formation and the golden bell formation, the trapped beast formation that disrupts the enemy's consciousness. There is also a tracking array that can track the enemy. I'm sorry for you to sacrifice these 4 formations." Ye Changsheng smiled. "Okay, who told me, old man, that I have a high level of cultivation? Now I feel a little bit 60% certain that I will survive from the Yunkai secret realm." Ye Jiuhu was very happy. "Grandpa, 60% is not enough. These are 5 thunderbolts that can kill foundation building monks." Ye Changsheng said calmly, "What? It's actually Cheyenne Lizi. With this thing, wouldn't it mean that in the secret realm, gods can block gods and Buddhas can block Buddhas?" Ye Jiuhu said excitedly, "But if you can buy this thing, others may also have it, so we have no chance of survival when we encounter Cheyenne Lizi." Ye Jiuhu calmed down and said, "Grandpa, you are right, but I also have something to restrain Cheyenne Lizi." Ye Changsheng said as he took out the Zuanwu umbrella from his storage bag. "Grandpa, look, the design of this precious umbrella is the same as that of the mortal world. The umbrella will open as soon as you press the switch, but this umbrella itself can defend against second level mid-level attacks, while Cheyenne Lizi can only defend against second level low-level attacks. Although this umbrella is a second level mid-grade, it does not require the magic power of monk to refine it, so you don't have to worry about our safety in the secret realm." Ye Changsheng said proudly. Chapter 25 Green Fruit. But, I, Ye Jiuhu, have given birth to a good grandson. With you, we will definitely return with a full load this time. With you here, our family will have hope of building a foundation." Ye Jiuhu said happily. "This is what a grandson should do." Ye Changsheng said with a smile, "Grandpa, you are tired. I won't delay your meditation and rest." Ye Changsheng bowed and returned to his room. Ye Changsheng calculated the time, and the 4th month of the opening of the True Dragon Immortal Tree space was full. Ye Changsheng's mind moved, and he entered the True Dragon Immortal Tree space again. Ye Changsheng took out the 4th drop of the 1st level fairy dew according to the law. This time, Ye Changsheng had a plan to give birth, that is, the 1st level compassion fruit tree. With this plan, Ye Changsheng did not buy healing pills from Fenglui business, because in terms of healing effect, the 1st level compassion fruit is better than most of all healing pills before. Due to the shortage of spirit stones, Ye Changsheng sold all the 1st level compassion fruits. There are 5 spiritual trees in the True Dragon Immortal Tree space now. The 1st level compassion fruit tree, the 1st level immortality pear tree, the 1st level longevity peach tree, the 2nd level compassion fruit tree. The 1st level compassion fruit tree takes 6 years to mature. The 1st level immortality pear tree takes 9 years to mature. The 1st level longevity peach also takes 9 years To mature. The second level compassion fruit tree takes 24 years to mature. Ye Changsheng simply can't wait for so many years, so whatever fruit Ye Changsheng needs, he can only ripen it directly. With the previous experience, this time the first level compassion fruit tree ripened easily. Soon a new lush first level compassion fruit tree appeared in the true dragon immortal tree space. It was full of 72 bright red compassion fruits. Ye Changsheng put away the spiritual fruit, left the true dragon immortal tree space, came to the guest room, set up the spirit gathering array, and began to meditate and practice. During the intervals of cultivation, Ye Changsheng was also offering sacrifices to the 1,000 miles thread spirit talisman and the heart-to-heart jade. A few days passed in a blink of an eye, and Ye Changsheng visited his grandfather Ye Jiu, who again. He sent 10 first level compassionate fruits to prevent injuries before meeting in the Yunke secret realm. As for the origin, Ye Jiu, who did not ask. Half a month passed in a blink of an eye, and the time for the Yunke secret realm was almost up. Ye Changsheng came to Ye Jiu, whose room. The two took out the leaves of the 100 changes wood and pinched the magic formula, turning into a pair of sturdy middle-aged twin brothers with auras at the 9th level of key refining. The two looked at each other and laughed. At this time, the two Yunke secret realm trial jade talismans in Ye Changsheng's hands had become hot, which was a signal for Fenglui Pavilion to call. So the two quickly came to the center of Fenglui Fang City, where Fenglui Pavilion's 3rd level battleship Fenglui had already docked. The 3rd level battleship is a battleship that has reached the level of the 3rd level Purple Mansion Patriarch in both defense and attack. The warship is much wider than the flying boat. It not only has combat posts, but also many cabins. After the two showed the jade talisman, they boarded the warship. After boarding the warship, they were led by the waiter to a cabin secret room. Not long after the two boarded the ship, the warship started. Half a day later, more than a dozen troops had already stationed around a first level spiritual lake in the Zilong Mountains. The Fenglui warship came close and slowly landed. When Ye Changsheng and others walked down the gangway, they found that the surrounding area was full of people from various major forces: Linxiao sect, Zixia sect, Yangxiao Pavilion, Qian sect, Xingaiu Valley, Zuanshan Palace, and other major sects above the 3rd level. Among them, Linxiao sect and Xingaiu Valley are 5th level sects, with Yashu realm masters in charge. Zixia sect, Fenglui Pavilion, and Zuanshan Palace are 4th level sects, with Daoting realm ancestors in charge. Yangxiao Pavilion and Qian sect are 3rd level sects, and they have their own Purple Mansion ancestors in charge. In addition to these sects, there were 4 major families that gained control of the secret realm at that time. They were Daoting Liu family, Daoting Guan family, Purple Mansion Zhang family, and Purple Mansion Wu family. Seeing that the jade talismans in everyone's hands were getting hotter and hotter, they were more and more likely to fly away. Many Purple Mansion ancestors looked at each other and pinched the magic formula together at the general talisman in their hands. The time has come. Yunke secret realm, open. At this time, a golden light suddenly flashed above the lake, and a 2-meter square entrance appeared. Seeing this, everyone flew straight in, and Ye Changsheng and Ye Jiu followed them. After a while of spinning, Ye Changsheng landed on a piece of grass. On the grass in the secret realm, Ye Changsheng stood firm and quickly took out the map jade slip provided by Xianji Pavilion. His eyes moved on the jade slip, looking for possible resource points. He quickly locked onto a location marked with a green fruit. Green fruit is of great help to water attribute practitioners. His mother Cui Linglang has water spirit roots. Thinking of this, Ye Changsheng wanted to get the green fruit even more. The flying boat flew quickly among the verdant valleys of the secret realm, and the mountains and rivers intertwined into a beautiful picture. Half an hour later, Ye Changsheng finally arrived at the location marked on the map, and stopped at the edge of a lush forest. He carefully put away the flying boat, sneaked into the forest, and searched for traces of the green fruit tree in the dense shadows of the trees. Suddenly, a faint blue light flashed among the trees not far away. Ye Changsheng's eyes were instantly attracted, and he took light steps to move closer to that direction. Sure enough, in the middle of an open space, he saw a green fruit tree with lush branches and leaves, which was full of more than a dozen crystal clear fruits like clear water. However, next to the fruit tree, there was a huge 5-colored poisonous python, covered with colorful scales, and its gloomy eyes were staring coldly ahead. Ye Changsheng was alert, knowing that this poisonous python was extremely dangerous, and that he would be injured by its poisonous attack if he was not careful. Ye Changsheng quickly thought of a countermeasure. He took out several attack talismans and silver armor guard puppets, and arranged them one by one around the open space to form an encirclement point. Then, he urged the silver armor guard puppet to rush towards the 5-colored poisonous python, angering it and leading it into a trap. The 5-colored poisonous python suddenly raised its body, revealing its sharp fangs, and sprayed a thick poisonous mist towards the puppet. Ye Changsheng calmly clapped the flame talisman in his palm, and several flames roared down from the sky, surrounding the 5-colored poisonous python. Then, Ye Changsheng controlled the silver armor guard puppet to attack continuously, successfully angering it, causing it to fall into a state of rage and frantically attack the puppet. At this moment, Ye Changsheng saw the opportunity, and activated several binding talismans and mud talismans. The binding talisman emitted a strong spiritual power fluctuation, tightly wrapping the body of the 5-colored poisonous python, and the mud talisman created a deep muddy quagmire under its feet, making it unable to break free for a while. Ye Changsheng quickly activated the flame talisman, and a series of flames fell from the sky, surrounding the 5-colored poisonous python. The burning of the flames and the entanglement of the binding talisman made it unable to fight back, and was eventually killed. Ye Changsheng stepped forward to peel off the scales of the 5-colored poisonous python, remove the fangs, and collect all the valuable materials. Then, he excitedly picked the green fruits one by one, and put them in the storage bag. Then he carefully dug out the entire green fruit tree with its roots, and transported it back to the true dragon fairy tree space. In the space, he placed the green fruit tree in the rich spiritual soil, allowing it to take root and grow as soon as possible. After cleaning up, Ye Changsheng checked the battlefield again to make sure nothing was left out, then drove the flying boat and left the valley. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.